All right, well, we're good to go.
Okay, we should... Are we live on my end? Yes, we are.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Alterra, the Shattered Altsphere. The last two sessions, our player were thrown or dragged through a shattered vortex into a new alternative reality, the Shattered Altsphere, where they have landed in a scrap junkyard filled with rubble. And they have come across what appears to be two factions of Chimeras and Nothics meeting for some unknown reason. But unfortunately, the players have drawn the ire of the group, and now Steve is quite possibly dead. Let's find out. Welcome back to Alterra. Right, let's do a quick voice check then. Steve, as you will most likely be the most short-lived character of today's session, why don't you give us a quick introduction?
Rude. Right from the start, rude. Hello, I'm TR, I'm playing as Steve, and I will live forever.
But really sad music just started playing on my end, by the way, for that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Steve. The gods have already decided. Just wait until you start rolling. It's not going to be pretty. Alvina.
Howdy! I'm one playing Alvina. I'm Wolfie Bane. I am the streamer on one of these two streams. And I'm probably going to die, but it might be to, like, random falling damage. Because I think I've got, like, 4 health and still, like, max at 25 and I'm burnt. I'm not in a good spot either, but I'm not immediately going to get eaten by a Chimera. So.
Which is always the more favorable position to be in. Alright then, Dr. Zormir.
Apologies to the stream! I opened the stream at the same time, so you got a bit of a echoing Jamie there.
Hello!
But yeah, I'm Dragon Bob. I am playing Dr. Zormir. I'm trying to run for my life!
Jesus, you just nearly blew up my speakers there, dude.
Alright, there you go, audience. That's your sound check for the day. Fuck you.
I'm Ben. I'm playing Fuck You, the little goblin bard, who is probably the second most likely to die tonight.
Nah, he'll live forever. Somehow.
I mean, if I do end up being the only one surviving, I do have a song for my bard to play.
You do?
You just go to sleep again, you'll be fine.
You go back to sleep.
That is fair. And finally, but not least, Lou Grimm.
I'm Neil and I'm playing Lugrim. Unfortunately, I'm one of the smarter people along with Wolfie. And I'm far away
Bow
from the Chimera at this point.
Yes, bow down to my mighty 7 intelligence.
Yeah, but be glad that's not oh shoot. This is an actual visual representation of where you are, Neil. Or you're not far enough.
No, it's because we stopped there to loot, remember? So we're actually like quite a ways away because we had like 5 or so turns to loot.
Steve had to do his loot
Dick.
just in case he could save him. Which that sock is.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Pair of socks with holes in them.
Technically, where they are right now is off the map.
Yeah, Alvina and Grimm got to the other side and got to the little junkyard area that I used to transition the maps. And we'll get back to them when the rest of the players catch up, so I can actually transition the map to the next.
Yeah.
While they go in investigating for loot. I am Chris McKenzie, and I will be your DM for the day. Let's get into it. So, we're gonna start back with the more dramatic of the party split, with Alvina and Lou investigating some crates.
Yeah.
So as you come down, and you eventually manage to make your way through this wall of rubble down into another opening patch, you can see smoke stretching ahead of you to the northeast. Most certainly where your airship crashed, you appear to be going in the correct direction at least, but it's still quite a distance away through these valleys of rubble. You come down into an area that looks to have similar unopened boxes with iron let's say grips for now, because I can't think of the word, iron bindings keeping the crates in place that were similar to the boxes at the meeting area you previously spied. You have an area that stretches out before you, but we will restrict your movement for now as that area has a different map on it.
Okay.
You are surrounded by crates, and presumably you like loot. So,
Yeah.
how would you like to investigate / attempt to open these crates, knowing that any serious attempt, any blasting attempt, may damage the contents inside, as you have yet to identify what's actually in these crates or in this salvage. It looks like they're some sort of delivery boxes from a downed ship or something.
I will start with the most logical and obvious way to start. I'll try to rip the top off the boxes. Bindings and all.
Alrighty then, go ahead and give me a strength check. Now these boxes have been battered about and the iron is a little worn from what appears to be years just sitting here in this junkyard. So they have rusted a little bit, but this iron appears to have some sort of obsidian compound to it. It's got a slight glassy look to it. So it still looks to be pretty good condition given how, who knows how long it's been sitting out here.
Okay, pure strength, right?
Need a strength check, and you have advantage if you happen to have a crowbar on you.
Do I actually have a crowbar?
This is the perfect situation where a crowbar would be super useful.
Doesn't it? I don't think an explorer's pack. It's a dungeoneer's pack that comes with a crowbar, isn't it?
It's a shame the Zormir's not with you.
One moment. I need to look up what's in an explorer's pack.
Steve has a crowbar.
Everyone with a crowbar not go with them. Wow.
Yep.
Lou, do you have any plans or ideas to how you want to go about these boxes since you are exploring with us, Alvina?
Nah, there's no crowbar in the explorer's pack, so it is pure strength.
I do actually have a crowbar.
I will roll with advantage then.
Was a crowbar. So as the two of you really put your back into it and you start trying to get this crowbar into the crate and cracking them open, you are able, you do find that the obsidian iron that seems to be binding them is breakable with enough strength. It takes you a while, but with a 24, you're able to crack the actual bindings and take the lid off just from sheer force of will. Now, it will take you some time to do this, so I'm going to need an investigation check as you sort through all of the random crap and find anything of actual value to the players.
Okay.
And you can both go ahead and do your own investigations as you search for. You can see who gets the best loot.
I can't physically get better than that, so...
What was Alvina's?
Can you equal it? No.
Oh, you can't get better than 21. Yeah, so Alvina, describe how you're very, very helpfully helping Lou in this investigation and totally not derailing it.
Alvina, basically, she gets the crowbar, breaks one of the tops off, immediately just goes, that was a lot of fun, I'll keep doing it, and just keeps breaking more crate boxes off. Even ones that are open, she just, like, rips them in half. And she also gets distracted probably by finding some random food stuff somewhere. Like some bacon or something. She just goes, this is mine now.
So, Lou, you are avoiding Alvina's distraction of just constantly popping the crates off. You appear to be the only one actually looking through them. And you find a variety of assortment of what appear to be raw elemental material. You find these boxes have a metal inlining that disconnects only at the lid. It appears to be one solid hollow cube with the top missing. And in each of the boxes, these crates seem to be temperature controlled. For you find raw blocks of ice, raw blocks of soil. You find a crate that just releases a puff of ionized gas into the air with sparks of electricity flinging about that you're able to dodge out of the way. And only a few of these crates, you find ones filled with vines and dead grass. You find one just with acorn seeds in it. But through all of this, you are eventually able to find a couple pieces of equipment that you recognize as some form of elemental magitech. I need you to roll me a 4d4 to see how many times you get a roll on the primordial salvage table.
Fuck yeah. Yes!
What the fuck, man?
15!
Wow. Well done, Neil.
We find a tank!
I mean, wow.
We find a tank!
You find
make
a
it
second-
couple of rolls.
We find a
find a-
better airship!
You find a second gun.
We
You find our gun.
we find Steve in a box!
Like, Alvina, look, it's that gun we had.
Oh yeah!
Fucking hell, man. Well done.
You find so much salvage. We'll see just how much of it is useful in a bit, though, as we're going to switch back to the other half of the party as you continue collecting up all this valuable salvage.
Let me switch up the music because it was nice chill music for their looting.
Oh yeah,
Now
I've got...
we're going back to the metal.
You think one named
Chill.
Dragon's Wrath Dark Apocalyptic Music sounds good? I'm going to change it to that.
Now, this is a new session, so I'm going to delete out the initiatives here, as we're going to get some new initiatives.
Oh, that's good.
Let's see. Let me remind myself where I actually got to here. So, you angered the Nothics and immediately drew their attention. Steve is currently face-to-face
Running
with a Black
towards them.
Dragon Chimera, while Nothics are staring him down. Fukyu, I'm pretty sure, is still in the cliffside above the Chimera.
Yep.
And
Hidden, I
Zormi
believe.
up in the rubble clearing, a good 100 feet up, looking down on this scene. Presumably, I actually have no idea if you can see Fukyu, because I can't remember if Fukyu stealthed. I think they broke it.
No, I've broken my stuff at this point.
So, presumably, Zormir, you can see this entire situation. You can see everything but the Nothics past this large wall. As you're in one of the kind of dipped clearings, looks like part of the walls have been cleared away. So with that, I need everyone to roll me initiative. Alvina and Lou, feel free to roll initiative because we can come back to
It's the same as last time, if not worse.
Steve, you champion.
Steve, once again, nat 20s it!
Right, Chimera's going
We're
to-
just stunned and
Steve's
shocked.
licking
We're stunned and shocked at what's going on, and we're just hanging around a little bit longer, going, ah.
Okay, that was better than last week.
It is better than last week. I'm fine to have whoever rolled the 15 go before me, by the way, Chris.
the Nothics.
The Nothics go before you.
That's right, we've got the same score, so...
Yeah, I will let the turn order decide as I randomly put it to descent mode. One second, let me take an actual session note here before I forget how many times I need to let Lou roll in this damn salvage table.
Oh yeah, 15 times.
A lot.
I'm starting to regret doing 1d4 for each one now.
One less than max.
I know the pain. I know the pain. I had to come up with a loot table and I went, you know what? I'm actually changing this because I guarantee if I let them roll on this loot table, they'll roll max and I'll have to come up with like 20 items. I'm just gonna make it like one roll.
You get the loot table. Enjoy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna actually tweak this a little bit, and I'm gonna give you a quantity equal to the dice number rolled. So you're getting max quantity, but you're only rolling 4 times for the sake of brevity here. So that way you're still getting plenty of stuff, but I don't have to wait for 15 rolls. Right, and then we'll come back to you so you get 4, 3, 4, 4 quantity of stuff. I'll let you decide before you roll if you want to use that 3 up. There, I can't believe you rolled 3 4s. Gonna get a ton of cool primordial shit. Alrighty. Where were we? Everyone's rolled initiative?
Looks like it, yep.
Yep.
I just realized I'm gonna put music on for myself here. Let's get some Val music on the background for the DM.
Yeah, I just found some random Viking music because it turns out that dragon one wasn't copyright free.
Oh.
It's fine, I only had like about 3 seconds of it, so it's fine. It also
Nobody
just
will know what it is.
To be fair, it also just didn't say explicitly not copywritten. It probably is not copywritten, but best to be safe, right?
Yeah. I've currently got Duhast playing.
Alright,
It seemed
beautifully.
appropriate.
Steve, you are going first as this chimera lands behind you, and its black dragon head swings towards you. The two other heads swinging to stare at you as all three look at you, and the Jack Blagan.
Jack Blagan!
Jack Blagan.
The chimera's name is Jack Blagan.
Apparently so. You get a weird telepathic communication in your head. You just feel like you know this creature's name as it gargles and it laughs at you in Draconic, which you were unable to understand. I believe it was chanting, Dran, Dran, Dran.
Yeah. The one time I don't take Draconic is the one time it shows up, by the way.
Yep. As it is drooling acid. Steve, what would you like to do?
Okay, I think I'm facing towards the Red Nothics, or Eye Boys, as I'm going to call them.
Yeah.
Over there.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm going to do the only sensible thing I can think Steve would do.
Commit
I'm going
suicide.
to use my free object interaction to pull the holy socks onto my hands.
Okay.
Then I'm going to turn around and bring them up to my chin, turn around to look at the chimera, and sock pop it to pretend I'm one. I want you guys.
You know what? That is not the worst defense I've ever heard. I have heard worse defenses, to be fair.
Roll me a flat charisma check
Please, natural 20.
to see if
It would be
you
awesome if he does.
convince the chimera to keep you as a pet.
Wah, wah.
It's not a pet person. It prefers dogs.
Yep, sorry, it's not a Steve person.
Hey,
For
you know
days.
what? It was worth a try.
It was. Because you were
It-
fucked either way.
It breathes a very light acidic breath on you that you can feel starting to disintegrate the socks. What would you like to do? It
Attack.
clearly was not
Okay.
impressed and looks very
Right.
hungry at you.
New plan. I'm gonna spin around, steady my aim, and shoot the poor guy I shot in the head before.
Just finish him off. You know what? I'm taking one of you bastards with me.
Yeah, pretty much. For
A lot.
that should have been at advantage. Yeah, 23 to hit him in the head.
Well, with its 5 hit points left, it just
24
managed to
just
get
does
back
it.
up as you shoot it dead.
And then I'm gonna charge towards them and beckon over my shoulders like, "Come on, we can take them."
To the Chimera, right?
Oh yeah, to the chimera.
Thank God.
Roll me another charisma check.
You just have the Chimera join. Please, nat 20 this one.
Oh my god.
It could work.
Chimera, quite literally, has never heard
It's better.
of anything like this ever happening.
It's worth a shot. I'm dead anyway. I might as well, you know.
Yeah.
Real shame for you. These guys aren't red-headed chimeras. Might be a genuine plan.
Yeah, the red Chimera just like, you know what? Fuck it. I just want to kill everything.
Fuck you at the top of the cliff is like essentially looking down and then face palming.
Chimera just stretches his head up, looks at the dead maroon Nothic, just stares back at you. It seems to have a quizzical yet curious look on its draconic face.
It doesn't usually think that anything, any small person would just try attack something else when it's about to kill you.
It positions itself into a wait and watch stance.
Oh, this is going. Well,
Steve will take on the Nothics.
We are going to
I'll
watch.
take them all on. There's
Where-
another 2 chimeras I can beat up.
You think Nothics can do standard shoot actions with their eyeballs? Just laser him to death. Oh no.
Don't really like the way he said standard shots.
I said stand and shoot. They just stand there, look quizzically, and they
right,
just
okay.
blow him up.
Alright, Steve,
rather than those special
your
shots.
Over me.
I mean, they can within 30 feet, so...
Yeah, I didn't look. I don't remember what their stats though.
But Steve, is that your turn?
I mean, I'm kind of surprised I didn't get an attack of opportunity, so yeah, I'm going for it.
Oh no, this dragon, is at least curious as to what the hell's gonna happen. Might not be a red one, but it's definitely never seen anything like this before.
It's essentially the same as a person watching as a mouse just charges against a lion. You just wait and
Then
watch.
goes to fight a bear.
If that is your turn, it is now the Nothic's turn.
Go.
You're
Live
right,
scenario.
within 30
Slingshot and
feet.
ammo. You're fine.
I thought the squares were double.
Yeah, they're 10 feet.
Yeah, the 10 foot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm calculating just now.
Ah.
1, 2, 3.
That's like 50,
Okay.
60.
Because they'd have movement. I want to see if you're more than 60 away. Which I don't think you're more than 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Take a
6.
step back.
Maybe like 4 back once. How would the Nothics feel about the slime? They don't care about the slime. The Nothics outraged now that you would dare kill one of their members.
It was
Are going
brutes.
to using their long limbs are going to do that weird creepy dance where they kind of dance towards you like their feet are on fire. They're going to move 30 feet towards you. 1, 2, 3. Just apart from this dead one. I'll put the dead one back in a bit. You'll move them all as a group.
It's a zombie Nothic.
The zombie.
Turn undead! Turn undead!
And that will get within 30 feet of you. Let's see here.
Bagpipes just started playing on the music I'm playing.
Nothics are pretty, they want information, so they're not gonna try and outright kill you.
They'll just
They
rot.
don't need to.
They'll just rot off his limbs. He'll be fine.
They don't need to do that, though.
Aww, it's funny though.
Steve, are you immune to being charmed?
No.
Then I need 8 deception checks.
Deception checks.
As every maroon Nothic there attempts to weird insight you.
I forgot that's what it was called.
Oh, okay.
That's it. There's a.
Oh,
Oh
you
no.
know what? It was pretty good for most of it.
God
Yeah,
damn,
I'm about to say the last
believe it.
two kind of meh. Everything else was great.
Alright. It's time to play. Can that Nothic insight you? Because they now need to make a insight check against that deception rolls.
Get the
So
drum
they
roll.
have a +4. So the first Nothic, well, against your 23.
Thank God that was a
does not gain
23.
an insight. The second Nothic against your 21 does not gain an insight. Against your 18, they gain
man.
1 insight. Alright, so let's have a look here. The Nothic wins. It magically learns 1 fact or secret about the target.
His name.
Steve, what is...
His real name.
I'm pretty sure in the spirit of it, Steve has to be at least aware of this secret. Steve, what is 1 secret that the Nothics steal from you?
Steve's name is Doug.
Wow. What a revelation. The Nothic grins as it whispers Doug on its lips, and then looks quizzically as to why this is a secret.
He's like, Doug,
Steve.
I've got him. Wait, what the fuck?
The 4th Nothic doesn't gain anything. As that brings us to against a 22. Oh, 22! The 5th Nothic just fails. However, this brings us to the 16. Can the Nothic succeed?
Oh.
It does, just. So the second Nothic wins its weird insight against you as it steals a second secret. What else has Steve never revealed to the world?
Every single bath that Steve has ever taken, which isn't that many, he's peed in.
Wow. The
Is
Nothic
that because
doubles
the hot
over
water wasn't working properly?
and begins laughing at you. And then quizzically stands up and wonders why is that a secret?
I mean, that should be a secret, to be fair.
Hey, you don't
It
know
thinks
why
to
Doug
itself.
was kept a secret.
Is that not normal?
No, the nothing goes. This guy bathes.
But we have 3 more Nothics to go through. Against the 24, they fail. Against the 13,
No.
they succeed.
Now they start rolling
for
well.
a 3rd secret.
You stole someone's pancakes this morning.
At a masquerade party when Steve was younger, he accidentally kissed his brother on the lips.
Wow.
A big kiss. His brother doesn't know. Only Steve does.
I'm glad Steve's getting his character development fleshed out before he dies.
Yeah, he has a brother, by the way, guys.
Did any of you know?
No?
'Cause none of us did.
My question is, how does Steve know that it was his brother?
My question is, how
You
does
get
Steve know
one
he...
secret.
My thought is, how does Steve know he has a brother? Is he named Steve?
I'm my brother.
He actually killed his brother and assumed his personality. I don't know.
Final?
Nothic stares quizzically at you,
Siamese twins.
wondering, wait, how does this help lead us to the secret rebellion?
Of all the people it could catch.
Why are your memories full of civilizations that don't exist?
This guy's batshit insane.
As the final Nothic rolls against your 11.
I was about it. He's got a nat one. I knew he would nat one that.
And
He
critically
learned.
fails
Steve
to learn
learns.
anything.
Steve learns a secret about him.
Steve, you get this weird reverse ping in your head, informing you that these Nothics are looking for a secret Noid rebellion settlement out here in the scrapyard.
Ah.
And apparently believe that you may have been agents of it, but is now rethinking that as the Nothics appear to be communicating with each other telepathically.
So, what the fuck is wrong with this agent? He can't possibly be an agent. He's way too incompetent for that.
But the Nothics
That's what he
will continue
wants you
advancing
to
on you.
think.
They've learned that while you may not be worth kidnapping, so kidnapping's not the right word, taking prisoner for the sake of the rebellion, you definitely seem to have some interesting thoughts.
They're taking him for studying.
And they're definitely intrigued by you. But that is all the Red Nothic's turn, as they've all decided to weird insight you collectively. Alvina, it is your turn. You are happily pulling off crates. How does it feel?
Feels good. Feels good. I open a crate and eat something that's inside that doesn't appear to be poisonous. I guess.
That's fair. You find a lovely crate of what appears to be oranges.
Yeah.
Alright. Lou, it is time for you to roll your first check on the primordial salvage table. Would you like to use a 4 or a 3? In terms of your quantity of gaining this number.
Use
Use
the
your 3, so he has to do better every time.
Yeah.
Well, this is just the quantity. This is how many of these items you find, because you're finding boxes of this stuff.
Oh, cool. Let's also use the
You-
3, because then we get the more of the whatever's last.
Yeah, you either get 3 of these items or 4 of these items. How many would you like for the first roll?
4.
Go.
Oh, you're going with a 4. Okay. Then roll me 1d20 on the primordial salvage table.
11.
Okay.
Ooh, an 11. Let me have a quick look here. Okay. Let's see. 11. No, that one. I made this way too long. Okay. To get to the 11th. Okay. Interesting. Right, how do I describe this? You find, and this was your picking of 4. Okay. You find in one of the boxes what appears to be large square cubes of clay. However, unlike the other boxes, which appear to just be raw material, these clay boxes, about the size of, just slightly smaller than your chest, it would take 2 hands to kind of hold them. Think the cube from Portal. Appears to be inscribed. You know what? This is actually just looks like the cube from Portal. I just realized because it's got like indentations of little circles and lines. If you can imagine the cube from Portal,
yeah,
that'd be great.
Companion cubes.
Cube.
Only instead of a love heart, you actually have a shield on it.
Ooh.
You find 4 of these clay boxes or these clay cubes that appear to be some sort of primordial weapon or primordial. I feel like there's a better word than magic item, but magic item.
Wondrous item would be a decent one.
There we go. These 4 wondrous items.
Okay.
Can you carry them, or do you need help?
Depends how
what's your-
heavy they are.
Yeah, they're quite dense for reasons you'll find out once you figure out how to use them. So they're quite decently heavy, I would say. They weigh like a giant cube of packed earth, like really dense packed earth. So they're quite decent size. Maybe 5 to 10 kilograms heavy, I would say.
So it's between
Probably-
20 and 40 kilos of dirt, appears to be.
What's your strength score? For Lou.
I used it as a dump stat because.
Yeah, I knew you
Oh yeah, then you can struggle to pull 1 out, but you're definitely not carrying all 4.
Like,
Presumably
Alvina.
Alvina, the
Yeah, help,
strength
Barbarian.
character. Yeah.
She's just covered in orange juice. Yeah?
I've got some blocks here. I can't carry them on myself.
Ooh, okay.
Give me a hand, please.
Sure. Just picks. Is it? Are they like in a big crate that we've opened up?
Yeah.
Okay. I just lift the crate easily. Ah,
Fair.
Thanks.
what are they?
They seem to be. I wouldn't know, would I?
Nope, you have never seen these items before in your life. Unfortunately, the primordial and old-tombed war chests back in the original universe were depleted and used up during the war. And their technology is lost to the ages. But you can spend some time investigating, playing around with them. Like I said, they look like clay blocks inscribed with lines and a symbol of a shield. I guess it's not magic. It's primordial energy. So I guess some nature nature checks or investigation checks would unveil what they are. But we'll come back to that next round, where you'll get the choice of keep exploring or play around with one of your items. But for now, Fukyu, it is your turn.
And I mean, there's not much you can do but watch.
Hilarious, I think the Chimera has actually forgotten about you and Zormir while it
Yeah.
watches Steve run at some Nautics.
So Fucky's just gonna move along the cliff a bit and bonus action hide. Because there's not much else he can do. None of his stuff has enough range.
Oh, sensible.
Because I'm 200 foot up a bloody cliff.
You mean you don't want to dive into the fire?
No.
Just elbow
Burn
drop.
it's
Not the
fun.
greatest stealth, but
Elbow drop
take-
the Chimera.
We had an extra round, so next round it'll go out. Yeah, that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to remember how many rounds we actually had last session.
Of the fire, we had like 2, and you said it was lasting for 3 rounds. So it's got a little
So
bit left.
we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it at the end of Steve's next turn. All right then, and you're stealthing for 12. What's the Chimera stealth? Does that actually make a
Perception, I think, was like
Or
18
perception?
last week or something like that. It was
Yeah.
pretty high.
Got 3 heads.
Yeah.
It's understandable. Alright, that is Fukyu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then Zormir, it is your turn, and you can just about see the Chimera through the flickering green flame still ignited. What would you like to do?
Is he... How far away is he from me?
He's a little bit up and a little bit of a distance away. Let's have a look here. What's that, like 10, 100 feet? You're 200 up, so maybe about like 250-ish.
Okay, that's not gonna work then. I was gonna try and help you, Steve. I was gonna try and message him and say, "Hi, I'm looking for a new god. Come help me, please." But no, I'm just gonna start making tracks towards Alvina and that now. So,
You give like a little prayer out to Steve as you walk away.
I basically go, I did everything I could. I tried to heal him and everything, but I can't do much more.
I mean, I'm alive because of you, so, you know.
Yeah.
It's your fault I'm alive.
Yeah, it's your fault that he gets this much worse death, essentially.
You could have gone heroically. You could have just died in the fire. Nope. I really had to drag this out, guys, didn't you? I really had to torment Steve's final heroic moment.
I'm just gonna dash this 60 off map.
You get
we'll
to
come
around.
back to you in a bit when you arrive, Lou and Alvina. Alright, it is the Black Chimera's turn. The other two groups are gonna flank around to see what the hell is going on over here. While this one is going to continue walking up softly. And you know what, let's give it a reminder that there are other noids here as it looks around, realizing, hey, weren't there two other noids around here? And is going to look up at Fukyu, failing to hide. What's that, Steve? Yeah. Steve's in good hands. I'm going to go get the other one. And it's going to flap its wings and dash up the 120 feet towards Fukyu. Most likely arrive there next round. Steve, it is your turn. The Chimera appears to have turned to leave you to your fate with the Nothics.
Okay, so.
They're charging towards you. What would you like to do?
Only sensible thing I can do is to save Fukyu. So, Chimera is dashing up as we speak, because everything like D&D, it all happens kind of at the same time.
Yep.
So, my best option is to ruin the Chimera's flight path. So,
Okay.
I pull out my torch and I stab it into the oily water.
Boom!
I'm going to try a methane cloud. You know, it wants to go 120, it goes 420 up. Kind of.
Also, all the Nothics are in the oil as well.
Also, yes, and the front of this poor bugger down here, I told you I would take them on as well.
Steve's going nuclear, guys.
Go, Steve, go!
Smite it again!
I can't, no spells.
No!
The only reason the previous one was so big was because of the smite. Otherwise, the fire only ignites the immediate area around you.
He just kills himself and hits
It
no
won't
one.
ignite the entire surface. So, would you like to, knowing this, because you are a relatively intelligent character, I think. Can't remember what your stat was. You're not a wizard, who knows?
It's a hot 0.
What, that's still an average intelligent.
You're not.
You've seen enough of this fire to know that it only ignites the immediate area. Would you like to continue with your plan?
Yes,
Bear in
but I
mind,
throw it
you've got a mechanical spider.
that is
throw it, like,
true. I
directly
throw
under it?
that way towards the Chimera.
Okay. That's more likely to work, at least.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a... I'm pretty sure this... you're still throwing it, so... Give me any other strength or dex attack. It's an improvised weapon, but it's a torch, so you can have proficiency in this. Let's see if you're able to get it exactly where you want it to be.
I'm gonna say crossbow. Oh, 21.
21 works. As you chuck the torch exactly under the Chimera, and the flames ignite I need you to roll me a D4, because this is just a standard torch. It's not being inflamed by anything.
We lost Neil.
See how strong. As a
Doug.
massive burst of flame lights up directly underneath the Chimera, sending a wave of nauseous gas up underneath the Chimera and pushing it even further than it meant to off track. We're just going to move the Chimera over here to symbolize that. And let's have a little bit of green underneath the Chimera. We'll do a little spirally circle to show that you got it just right to create some form of reverse vortex. All right, that seems to have thrown the Chimera off path with the sudden change in wind temperature there. Steve, that was at least one of your attacks. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Yep. Bonus action dash, and I'm just going to try and, crash into them. Not an attack, just a full-on
Body slam.
body-to-body slap.
It's full on
fair.
tackles the group.
You do so.
Shoulder
All right,
barge.
it is then the Red Nothic's turn, and they've taken an interest to you, so it's time to play Knock Out That Steve. Because Steve's most likely leaving the party, but where Steve will wake up, we'll find out in small little minisodes.
This is just a personal campaign for Steve in this
hilariously, I've somehow designed the starting encounter so no matter what happens to Steve or any of the characters, they will end up with one of the 4 factions. I'm not sure how I've managed it. It wasn't intentional. But one way or the other, your fate is destined to clash with one of the factions. We're going to do small 5 to 10 minute flashes over to what's happening to Steve in one of his torture chambers.
He's actually just fine. He's having a really nice time because they're studying him.
Yep. Let's see. The Nothics can make 2 attacks, and they have melee options, so they can do this non-lethally to knock you out. Okay, then. So we're gonna play. I've got 8 Nothics here, all hitting you over the head with the back of their hands.
Bonk.
Need to beat an 18 if it helps.
Yeah, they have a +4. Let's find out.
Nope.
An 11. All right, let me bring up my dice roller here, so I don't have to keep writing this one.
Yes, just do it.
Okay, I've got. You know what? I'm just gonna roll a bunch of dice and see how many hit. Any reason why any of these attacks would have disadvantage or anything?
Are you using flanking?
There's too many of them. They're slapping each other.
Slapping each other. You know what? Let's make this slightly easier. I'll finish up this first one's attack. 11, nope. And then let's do the remaining 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
14
7.
attack.
Let's have them some spread out. Really visualize this on the map of them just ganging up and slapping and beating the crap out of it.
Oh, there's a GIF for this. Give me a second.
As for some reason, out of nowhere, a musical track plays in the background. A daunting little tune, as they all just get to slapping you. Let's see, there's 7, there's 14 attacks. I just need any of them to get higher than 14 to deal some damage.
There's an
I
at
think
20.
the bigger question is, which ones aren't knocking you out? Alright, Steve. So, we're about to find out how much health you have. So the first one is going to do 5 bludgeoning damage
Here
to
it
you.
is. That was the GIF I was after.
I probably already know what it is.
Yeah, you do. It's a famous one.
Alright, Steve, are you still up after 5 bludgeoning damage?
Yep.
I was thinking another one.
Another 7 bludgeoning damage.
Still alive.
Another 9 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, I'm gonna uncanny dodge that one for half.
Oh, nice.
Still alive.
Incoming nat 20.
Was that the nat 20? No, nat 20 is the next one.
Ah.
It's okay.
7 more bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, I went down on that. It's fine.
You went down a nat 20 while you're down.
Yep.
To really put you out of your misery.
You kicked him in the foot.
And then And then we switch to montage of just all the Nothics just kicking and beating you up.
None of
We
these
should see you on
people
Discord.
Yeah, it's in Discord at the moment.
All right, Steve. So you are unconscious, but you are stable. Because the Nothics have a few more questions to ask you.
Okay. Firstly, Steve has never been stable. I take that personally.
He's more stable now. He's unconscious.
Yeah, true.
But that is the Red Nothic's turn. Alvinia, Lou appears to have found 4 very heavy clay cubes. What would you like to do?
I take one out and have a look at it. See if I can discern anything from it.
All right, go ahead and give me a nature check.
It's a cube of dirt.
You're not even quite sure if this really is clay.
It's not a
Is
cube.
this clay?
It's actually a
Is
sphere.
this a cube?
She says to Luke, "Are you,
You
sure
refute
this is
everything Lou tells you.
This is not heavy.
It's not heavy. Look, this isn't even heavy. How do I know the rest of your details are correct? Why does that make me chuckle so much? Alright, Lou, apart from Alvina questioning any of your descriptions of this cube, now that she's just lifting the entire crate of them up. Just really showing off that these aren't heavy, you're just weak. What would you like to do? You can either continue investigating the cube or move on to your next discovery.
I'll move on to the next discovery.
You just turn away from Alvina just gloating about them not being heavy and be like, okay, you can have those ones.
He's a mine now.
Lou knows he's not strong.
That's fair, that's fair. Alright. Would you like to use your 3 or your 4 for the quantity of these? You still have 4 clay cubes.
I'll do 3.
You're gonna use your 3 up. Let's hope this isn't the best one. Roll me a d20 on the primordial salvage table.
Roll a 1. I don't even know what it is, but roll a 1.
16.
Ooh, a 16. Okay, where would 16 be? Nope, that's way too high. Crystals 16. Okay. Fair. Alright, so inside the other box that you've discovered, what hidden amongst, or as part of what appears to be a large chunk of ice, you actually notice that there is a glint of metal inside the ice. There appears to be 3 spears
Ooh.
on freeze in the ice. And this was 16.
Okay, I really need you
Alright.
to find me 2 swords, please.
As you find 3 ice spears.
Are they like wedged in a block of ice, or are they like...
They are submerged and frozen in a block of ice.
Ooh, neat. One of 2 things then. They're either super freaking hot or they produce ice.
It is one of those 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
That or they just fell in a lake and got frozen.
During an ice age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Hey, we know
and
nothing about this
cold.
place.
We do. We know they've got oranges.
They could have been imported.
They're still on
in
this
crates.
planet. They're still on this planet, though.
Yeah, but
They're
naturally.
not in crates anymore. They're in my backpack.
Oh, yeah.
I've just put like bunch of oranges in my bag. He's in mine now.
I mean, Chris did describe them as they appeared to be oranges.
They're edible, or I'm about to die. One of the 2.
In my head, they were griffin testicles, and you just had made a huge mistake.
She's probably...
Huge.
She'll eat anything.
Alright, but that is Lou Grim. We'll come back to that next round. So if you want to play around with them or investigate more. Fukyu, you are... You've just witnessed a cloud of gas blast past you as a chimera is shot off course and starts scraping against one of the walls as it tries to flap back into orientation. And below you, Steve is lost from sight in a gaggle of maroon Nothics that are beating the crap out of him. He is probably unconscious. What would you like to do?
So how far away from me was it? Went up 120 foot, wasn't it?
You weren't quite up 120 feet. You'd have to kind of crawl around the crags a bit to find good footing. Roll me a... Let's see here. Roll me a D100.
D100?
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll add 100 to this, and that'll be your height here.
Please roll 100.
Not 20.
Not 20 on a D100. 4!
Wow, you are 104 feet up.
The Chimera missed.
You've been slowly crawling downwards, apparently.
He was going to rescue Steve.
So, right. So I'm 104 foot up.
Yep.
And the
Which is good for
Chimera,
you,
you
'cause
said...
the Chimera would have gotten you this round if it hadn't been blasted up.
Yeah, but how far away from me is the Chimera at the moment then?
It would have dashed all the way up to 104, but then the blast would have put it off course. Let's say it is currently 240, so only... Let's just accidentally double its movement. So yeah, it's 120 away from you.
It's 120 away from me, like above me, or?
At a slight angle away from you, because it kind of spiraled out of control.
The only thing that I've got that'll do 120 foot is against humanoids, and that's definitely not a humanoid.
It is not.
I'm gonna try to climb down another 30 towards Steve. And bonus action, try hide myself against the wall.
Okay, go for it.
So it's stealth.
All right,
that's a bit
and
better.
Zormir, you are currently
Ooh.
out of initiative. Ooh, 22, nice. That actually hides from the Chimera itself. This goes back to the Chimera. The Chimera is going to stabilize itself and is going to sweep back down to its previous location, unaware of where Fukyu has gone, and is going to have to dash back. So yeah, that'll be its turn to dash back to its previous location.
Oh yeah, the green fire's gone, isn't it, now? This one?
The end of Steve's turn.
Oh, gotcha.
Steve, it is now your turn. You are stable. You are going to be dragged away by Nothics.
Congratulations, you're still alive.
You're alive, you just kidnapped.
The
You're
Gothics are going to
dog-napped.
bundle you up, and they're going to start running away with you.
You're dog-napped.
No.
Yes, here we go. The Gothics are going to start running away with you.
Are they Gothics now?
Yes, they're now Gothics.
The Gothic
The
Nothics.
Nothics are going to start running away with you. Technically, they're Maroon Gothics, so they'll be Mothics.
Nothics.
All right,
Descended from moths.
Alvina, it is your turn. Apparently, Lou has found something else in one of the crates, but you're still currently looking at the clay blocks. What would you like to do?
I'm just holding the crate. I'm just going to look at us. What you found there, then? I look at the ice spears.
So, spears and ice.
Ooh. Can we get them out of the ice?
I don't
Can
know.
you get this on the ice?
I mean, I'm sure I can melt the ice.
I'm going to pick up the block of ice here.
It is currently inside one of the crates. Would you like to pick up the crate, or are you trying to get the ice out of the crate?
Trying to get the ice out of the crate.
All right. This is more a grip thing than anything. You have the strength. How would you like to attempt to get the block of ice out of the crate that it appears to be perfectly fitted for?
Basically, I'm going to put... If it's perfectly fitted, I'm going to try and, like, wedge my hands down by the sides, realize it can't do it, just crack my hands to bust the wood at the sides of them, try and do it like that.
Okay, so you're just tearing this crate apart. Give me a strength check.
23.
As you just buckle this obsidian iron out of this crate, and another wall of this crate just slams down. And you realize you've only actually been able to tear the wood, the solid mahogany wood off of the crate, as inside it appears to be a solid little iron cup, effectively, that was built in to the actual wood itself. And unfortunately, 23 isn't able to bend iron.
Aw.
At least not cold steel iron, anyway.
Yeah, no,
iron.
not quite this iron. Probably normal iron. Can I pick up the cup and try and just upend it?
Yeah, just tip it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works. You kind of like shake it out and thingy it. Let's see how slippery this ice is. Let's do a fate roll.
Very. Either very or not at all.
You've got quite
Not
a
at
good
all.
grip.
That is a negative fate on your end, as the ice apparently is non-slip.
It's non-slip.
It is really solidified to this metal walls off this crate. It is not coming out no matter how much you shake it.
It does appear to be normal ice, right?
As far as you can tell,
Okay.
it is ice color. It is moderately transparent,
Slightly cold.
slightly cold. You can feel the cold air coming off it. It's like a giant ice cube.
Alright. Okay, she looks a little annoyed. She looks for a rock, something pointy, attached to the ground, or a corner of like another metal crate. Raises the whole thing above her head, and just brings the ice first onto whatever pointy thing that I have found.
Okay.
Improvised ice pick.
That isn't
ahead,
grim.
Give me an improvised attack roll. This will be a strength attack.
Strength attack. I'll just roll athletics, because that's the same.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh, damn. And roll me a d20 fate die.
Something broke. I don't know if it was the ice, but something broke.
As you hear a shattering as the cold iron cup, cube, box works. The cold iron box starts to buckle outwards, as you've actually seemed to have smashed the ice so goddamn hard into this pointy rock that you've actually disfigured the iron box itself, as ice shatters and splashes across the ground beneath you. And you have luckily not triggered the spears inside, because that would have been hilarious.
That would have been very funny.
As you're now able to remove the ice, lifting up the box, the ice just shatters and falls to pieces as the 3 spears fall out, covered still in ice, but in like small, more like crystalline ice along it. It appears to have like shattered along the shaft of it, so that they are in like little prisms.
Ooh.
But in theory, you can like chip it away or like burn the ice off or something. But they are now in individual form.
Badass.
But that's going to be you for now, because you've done quite a bit there.
Yeah.
Lou, what would you have liked to be doing while Alvina was doing this? Would you have liked to have been watching, continue searching, or what would you like to do?
I would have been watching Alvina do that, and now I'm going to investigate those spears.
All right, the spears are still covered in ice a little bit, but not as much as obviously a full block there. They can be chipped away with like an axe, or a dagger could do it, but it won't be as effective. And you can also just turn them off into your hands. They're essentially just kind of like rolled up in ice. What would you like to do?
I'll chip away at them with a
You can
little
also
hand
just kind of do
axe
like a
that...
visual appearance if you just want to like look at them. See if you can glean any information.
I'll chip away with them with my hand axe that I have.
Alright, fair. Then go ahead and give me a strength sleight of hand check as you begin chipping away at the ice. to see if you can get some like effective strikes in there. So give me a strength check, and then with proficiency if you have it in sleight of hand.
Back in a second.
So strength check.
With proficiency if you have proficiency in sleight of hand.
Right, I do.
Yep. Then roll me a strength check, and then you can just add your proficiency if that's easier. Unfortunately, I don't think Roll20 has the ability to switch out the base stat for skills yet.
Sure, my proficiency's 5.
What are you at? 8? I think it's still 4? I think it doesn't go up till 5 till 9. Either way, you succeed.
Proficiency 3.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 4, it goes up to at 9.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Either way, you're still...
That was just your plus for your sleight of hand stuff.
Yeah, which takes into account your base modifier.
Alright.
You have a little like proficiency box. But that would still succeed because that's still over 20. As you're able to very quickly and with great skill, able to just chip away at this ice. Apparently you've done some sort of ice carving in your past. And you're able to kind of whittle it
Hey,
down.
I'm a tiefling.
But are you like a blue tiefling?
Yeah, we'll
you
see
like
that. But I was more meaning it's like I can get rid of ice, no problem.
I
Or
was
using
more.
like your fiery powers to help you along. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice. Your sheer touch to it is also helping just kind of weaken and melt the ice as the water drips beneath it, and you're able to fully and very quickly tear off the last of the ice, leaving behind this beautiful silver spear that appears to be engraved with draconic iconography. Go ahead and give me a nature check to see if you can understand some of the iconography. Unfortunately, you don't have any draconic ancestor or anything, so this you only get the basic of this. Let's give you a
22.
chance here. You can still kind of see some of the symbolism in it. There's definitely appears to be obvious ice iconography and symbolism. There seems to be this idea of what appears to be either, there would be no color, some sort of draconic or dragon imagery engraved into the smaller pictorials. This definitely seems to be modeled on some sort of dragon, either a white dragon or a silver dragon, given the ice nature of it. But that is all you're going to get for now, unfortunately, without any sort of draconic history. As we'll come back to you in a second. Fukyu, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, so the
Chimera is searching for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the Nothics have ran off with Steve. Or are running off with Steve.
They left their friend.
Yeah, the dead one. So I'm technically, what, 74, 75 foot up?
Yep.
And he's 110 away.
110 away. And I've not got any more 4th levels, so I can't do that. Because we've not long rested yet.
Nope.
No safe place to rest.
What would you like to do? Fukyu has a choice here. You can either attempt to stealth after Steve, but this would be you effectively leaving the party for now. And we'll do little minisodes with you trying to rescue Steve. Or you can try and stealth back to your main party, abandoning Steve. Where was Fukyu's destiny in this matter?
I mean, Fukyu is generally in it for himself. He's only with the party because it will get him more coin. He's uncertain where the fuck he is because he only just woke up. And
it's not like anybody tried to wake him up.
yeah, exactly.
walk up to Steve with his gun on your face.
In middle of combat, and it hasn't
Yeah.
stopped since you start.
He's got a barrel burn on his face.
Yeah, so Fuki must be really going under some, like, just so much has happened in this short space of time. What is he gonna do?
He's seen, like, Steve ragdolling, being carried away by the Nothics.
Yep, very clearly unconscious.
Yeah. Fuck you's gonna just assume that he's dead and gonna be eaten.
We've all assumed he's dead at this point, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously checks out, makes sense.
I mean, he did see that he was alive, and then he watched him getting beaten by these things and is now being carried off. So he's assuming that he's now dead.
Yeah, from personal experience, if an enemy's downed, you immediately kill it, so...
Yeah.
Mercy killing.
So he's now wary of this chimera.
Just wary, go ahead.
Only
He's
now.
searching for you, but does not appear to be aware of your location.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to escape, this would be the best time to do so.
Yeah. So because fuck you has never come across the chimera before, he doesn't know if it's got true sight or anything like that. He's gonna cast invisibility on himself
Nice.
and then slowly start climbing up the wall stealthily. So it's at half speed, so he's only moving up 15.
Okay, yeah. For the sake of levity here, and because seems more like a character choice than any sort of skill check or anything, we're gonna essentially montage this as you escaping, as you have made your choice, and Steve
Or-
is carried away.
Aim it out, light a torch, and dive for the oil.
Oh no,
fuck you.
fuck
That
you
works
is-
so well.
Fuck you has self-preservation in mind. His name's
yes.
not fuck you for no particular reason.
We will come back to Steve in the future to find out whatever happened to Steve. But for now, TR, I'm afraid Steve has left the party.
It's okay, Steve will be king of the Norfolks at some point. It's fine.
He goes in like...
From
If anyone's
from
seen Drifters, where there's like the guy in the plane who just... He crash lands in the world, gets attacked by all these animal men, wakes up, beats the shit out of all of them, becomes their god.
hey, you were Steve was looking for a cause. He now has a cause.
Steve's
King of the
3PO
Some form of
when
no
the
doubt
Ewoks
open
capture
prison.
them.
But we'll come back to that as Steve gives me a perfect opportunity to slowly sprinkle some old tombed lore in there in the new world. We will figure out a way to introduce your character during the next map. Since I also need you to come up with a reason for why your character is out here in the scrapyard, and give the party some reason to take you with them for party integration. But we'll get to that in a bit. First things first, let's head back then to Alvina and Lou, and then we'll have Zermir show up in the next round.
Okay.
As we go back to just the loot escapades of this story,
Yeah.
the battle having come to an end. Alvina, it is effectively your turn. Lou has managed to actually get one of the spears out of the ice. You've watched them kind of chip away using their tiefling heritage to burn away and melt some of the ice. What would you like to do?
Okay. Has he touched it with his bare hands yet?
He has, and it has not frozen him.
Cool, okay. I'm gonna pick up one of the other two, I guess, and go, well, we can check these out later. And just tie him to me back. I'm basically pocketing the other two spears, he's got the other one.
With the temperature of this place, it's generally quite cold because it's a bunch of just scrap lands, barely clinging to gravity.
She walks around like half naked most of the time, she's fine.
Yeah, are you just tying still ice-covered spears to your back.
To the back of my like clothes. Yeah, they will melt. I'm very aware of this.
Okay.
She doesn't particularly mind.
I was more thinking of like ice burns.
They're attached to clothing.
I'll allow this, but at some point, whenever there's a dramatic moment, I just want the spears to like finally melt through enough to like clang to the floor.
They're tied on.
No, the ice is tied on. They're slowly going to start slipping as they melt.
Possibly. It'll be during a stealth moment, I'm sure.
Yep. I just want like a really serious deadpan moment, and then the spear clatters to the ground.
And they go off.
Awkwardly.
And it goes off, whatever this ability goes off.
Lou, you have one of the spears in your hands. There's definitely some connotation between either a silver or white dragons and ice. But apart from that, that is all that you can discern from this item. What would you like to do? You still have 2 more discoveries.
I'll go on the next discovery scene. I have no knowledge about dragons or the language. I've got a rough idea about those spears, but it's like, yeah, I don't know any more than I've discerned already.
You have 2 4s left. Go ahead and roll me a d20 on the salvage table.
13.
Just adjusting my music. 13. Okay, let's have a look here. Where's 13?
The police. 13 is the cops.
Yeah, I'm arriving.
It actually is, yeah! Why are you blaring your siren? We're supposed to be stealthy, damn it!
I saw
Because fuck you.
I saw the tiefling doing something.
Yeah, it could be beneficial to you, so...
He's not the one currently nicking things, is the best part.
Yep.
I have a
I'm
box of...
acquiring things.
I have a
You
crate...
stole food.
I have a crate full of oranges, 4 companion cubes, and a couple of spears frozen in ice.
Strapped to your back.
Strapped to my back.
How on earth did I ever come up with this one?
Oh god.
It's a rabbit or something, isn't it?
And we still haven't found our cannon.
We'll find
This
it.
is a drunken one that...
This was when he came within a fever dream.
Yeah.
Is it a mechanical spider that plays a haunting tune?
Nope. As you open the next crate, you find 4 vats. These medium-sized vats, only maybe 2 foot in length and a foot in diameter. And from the top of them, they appear to be some sort of containers, of glass containers. Would you like to pull one of them out?
Can he? They're medium-sized. He's...
There's 4 medium-sized containers. Actually, they'd be small containers. There's 4 small containers.
I was about to say, if it's medium-sized, that's freaking big. He's not very strong. I doubt he can move one.
But there are 4 small containers that appear to have some sort of there's some sort of mini vats with liquid inside them. You can hear slight sloshing sounds.
What colour's the liquid? Can we see?
I don't know. You'd have to take one of them out. You're currently only looking at the lids.
So they're
I
not.
could have sworn I had mage hand.
But you don't want to just reach in and pull one of the vats out?
I'll do it.
Remember, it's a weight capacity on mage hand.
He does have a weight capacity, actually. Oh, do you have one of Seam
I
Servant?
don't seem to have mage hand. I thought I did, so I'll just pick a jar out.
All right, you're gonna pick a jar out. As you pull one of the jars out, you start to see some of the green liquid inside. And as you fully take it out, inside the glass vat, inside and floating in the green liquid, are 3 shrunken troll heads.
Ooh, pickle!
As you stare at them, all 3 open their eyes and stare at you and thrash about in the liquid.
Are they making a noise? Stop that! I just point at them and say, "Stop that." Stop it.
You can hear a slight sloshing sound from the vat, but it does seem to be somewhat soundproofed. Either that or, I don't know, the vocal cords got cut off.
It's just a set of heads, so...
It is 3 slightly shrunken troll heads that appear to be animated or alive inside the vat.
Oh, I have an idea. Hand me the jar.
I hand the jar to Alvina.
You have 4 of these things.
Are they still moving around?
Yes, they appear to be alive inside the vat.
I shake it really violently.
You do so. They thrash around even more. They're very clearly enraged.
I shake it even harder.
You do so. Their heads bob across, back and forth against the glass. They attempt to maul you, but find there is glass blocking their path.
I can basically keep doing it until they quieten down, essentially. This might take a while.
You spend eternity and look like they ever calm down from you shaking them. Alright, so you got 4 vats of troll heads.
I don't know if we can make use of these, I'm gonna be honest. The rest I can think of ideas. These besides eating them.
Well, I'll let you guys discover what these weird foreign objects in this alternative reality do. As at this point, Dr. Zermir, you arrive in view of Lou and Alvina, the first to arrive of the retreating party, to find 4 giant cubes of clay, 3 spears, and 4 vats of troll heads.
One of which is being shaken incredibly. It's being shaken incredibly violently.
What the? What the bloody? You've been looting whilst we've been trying to.
Oh
save...
yeah. Well, he's dead. Didn't you see him jump into the fire?
Yeah, where have you been?
Frickazined.
No, I got him up, and then he decided to be even more heroic and take on whatever else was there.
Oh, so now he's dead.
I can't do no more. I've got like 1 spell left that I quite frankly think I need myself.
Go. You did your best. He's dead. He'll be remembered. He'll be missed. You were an absolute badass, Steve. And I just do a salute. And then I shake the troll heads even more violently. Stop it, you little bastards.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm trying to get these troll heads to stop moving.
What?
I found 4 vats of these.
New map is up. You guys are in the bottom left.
Yep.
I mean, I could identify all your stuff, but it'd take some time, and I don't think we have
I've
the
not
time.
managed to get through everything yet.
Yeah, we've still got another box. Also, would you like an orange?
Where are we? No.
Here's an orange. And I throw an orange at you.
Move out
Take
the way.
an orange.
Move out of the way.
The orange explodes and whatever I threw it at. I threw it quite hard.
I mean, I appreciate you looting right now, because
Look, we're in a strange land.
You didn't get away from us, so we weren't left by ourselves entirely, but...
Well, yeah.
Why are you looting?
Well, there's stuff here.
We're in a strange land. This could be useful to our survival.
Also, there's stuff here. You seriously tell me you wouldn't loot?
Plus, there was big bad creatures over the other way.
Yeah, we're not going to abandon you.
As they're doing that, I'm gonna tap myself and cure myself by 4. That's not helping, but it's something.
As the like Zormir is shouting at the other 2, fuck you just wanders up to them and goes, "Well, Steve's dead."
Ah, see, told you he was dead. Here you go, fuck you. Here's some troll heads.
Oh, go. Fuck you, start shaking them as well.
Yeah, I knew you would. That's why I did it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look over what the last box is.
We can each have a vat of troll heads.
Oh my god, you can each have a vat of troll.
Okay, I'll put 1 vat of troll heads in my bag.
I mean,
There's
I
4
could,
vats and 4 of us.
I
Yeah, I'm
could
more curious how
check.
you're carrying all of this.
I could check your things at some
We'll
point.
do it later. We'll do it later.
But I need room to set up a ritual to
yeah, we'll do
check
it.
them, or I need sleep. I just
We'll
can
do.
we hurry up with your looting and let's go? We need to get to the airship.
Yes. Lou, go ahead and roll me the final d20 on the salvage check. Let's see what else you get 4 off.
I'm also going to tie the spears more securely so they don't clatter to the
10.
ground. Can
That's fair. That's not as fun.
I put them in my
Was it
quiver?
10?
Whilst that's happening, Fuck You's going to regale them with how Steve was talking to the Chimera, didn't actually know what he was saying because he was too far away, then ran towards these other things with giant eyes.
Yeah, the weird... Did I recognize what they were, actually? Because I saw them.
They look enough like Nothics from the thing, and you guys are tier 2 adventurers, so you would have probably come across Nothics at some point, or at least heard of them.
How did you see them when you weren't even...
I have
just
1
ran away
mile.
straight
I have
away?
1 mile vision, and I saw them running down the corridor to get here.
All right.
Remember?
Yeah, he got like
Right.
1 glance of them before running.
Yeah.
And yeah, Fuck You will say that they beat the shit out of Steve and then dragged him away.
Yeah, sounds dead.
Presumably to eat.
Sounds dead.
Yeah, you know them as aberrations. Probably dead.
Yep.
Alright, what was I looking at? Let's get 10. Okay.
You got a different number each time, which is kind of cool.
I don't know, I think it'd be hilarious if you got 4 more troll heads.
4 more sets of troll heads would be great, but...
I'll be honest, it's all I was hoping for.
Now, I hope we get something even weirder. I hope we get, like, party hats or something like that on this one.
Ooh, okay. Well, that's fun. Alright. As you open up the final box, there is no mistaking what you see inside. Placed carefully upon giant puffs of hay, you find 4 scaled red dragon eggs.
Yes! I wanted dragon eggs the entire time! That was literally my backstory!
So congratulations. In this new world, your dreams have come true.
I have dragon.
I'm gonna be a daddy.
I'm gonna be a mama!
I think we're
Alright.
going to be
That's
dinner.
just a really delicious omelette, but okay.
No,
From raw materials, those are the only 4 things that don't appear to just be giant clumps of supplies.
I dropped everything. These are my eggs now. I just
Oh, no,
picked
no,
4.
my...
I found them.
And?
There's mine, till I says different.
I think just carrying.
I can carry all of this, by the way.
I mean, I've got a bag of holding, so...
Now the dragon eggs are
Here's a
staying.
question. TR, have you actually made your character sheet in Roll20 yet, or have you got it on D&D Beyond?
D&D Beyond.
I
I've
need to
never made a
actually
character sheet involved.
assign you.
You just need to put your name.
Yeah, I need you to assign a name, and it will pick an avatar for you.
Yep.
Get back to the title screen. Will
I
you guys roleplay? Will I pick a character for
Ooh.
go, Lou, here you go, and I hand you back the troll heads. These are mine now. These are my dragons.
No, you can have the troll heads.
I don't want the troll heads, I want dragon eggs. These are mine.
Okay, can we just split the things up? So I don't want you having 4 dragons.
Why?
I don't want you having 4
It's not dragons, it's dragon eggs.
Yeah, they're baby dragons.
Don't know if they're still alive.
How... Yeah.
Quite frankly, I don't know what we're going to do with 4 dragon eggs, but
I'm gonna keep
I'd
them as
rather-
pets. Even if they stay as eggs forever, I'm keeping them as pets. She's got a very determined look on her face.
do you want them all, Lou, or do you want to split up the stuff you found, or what are you doing anyway? Quite
I'm
frankly,
seeing what you have
quite frankly,
before I can make any decisions.
quite frankly, I want to get moving to the airship.
How about this, Lou? When we find it again, you can have the artillery cannon.
I can't use it.
You can still have it. You can't use a dragon egg either.
How did you know?
Because I know you. We've known each other for years.
Well, can we make this decision quick?
I'm also fairly sure I'm the only person who can carry any of these dragon eggs.
I've got a bag of bloody holding. We can put everything in there.
We'll put everything but the dragon eggs.
I can carry stuff as well. I'm no weakling.
You can have this box then. I hand you the box of 4 companion cubes.
I put the eggs in fuck you's bag of holding.
No, I take them out. Let me at least keep one in my backpack.
Okay, you can have one at least, then.
One. We'll put I think the companion cubes in the backpack in the bag of holding is a good idea though, because I've got no idea what we do with these things.
Do we know where the airship is?
I look
It's
around.
in this direction.
I look around for the smoke.
You can see a faint trail of smoke to the northeast.
That way.
Yeah, unfortunately, I just don't think there's any Centaur minis on Roll20.
Are you also a... God damn it! My backup character's a centaur too.
Oh my god,
Make
that's
it
hilarious.
on.
Just use a
Alright,
horse.
This one's kind of centaur-y.
I don't think there's a horse on here either.
This one's kind of centaur-y. This is probably the closest you're gonna get.
I'm pretty sure there's a horse because I've used a horse mini before.
Is there a knight? Because I think there's a mounted knight model.
No, that I can see, but maybe there's a lot of other stuff in here.
I think it's in
There's
like
nothing with
standard. It's one of like the standard sets. I think there's a bunch of stuff like that in the standard sets. And there's
Yeah,
like
they have
mounted
knights, but none of
stuff.
them are mounted.
Darn.
That'll do for now. We can find out better money for you later. Because don't want to spend too long with one of the players out. But for now, we'll get back to the introduction of a new character in a couple moments. For now, the characters have found themselves down an ally who they've been adventuring with for some time in a strange new world. And you have the option of pushing forward or staying still. Knowing that more monsters may descend upon you at any moment.
I believe we're going to push forward.
We're pushing forward, yeah. We're currently bickering about who gets to hold the dragon eggs.
Like, let's put most of the stuff in the bag and holding, and let's get moving.
Yeah.
You can have one dragon egg.
It's in my backpack.
As you continue forward, you continue in eerie silence. As you move about, you realize that any loud noises seem to echo off the heaps of ruin and rock and marble and all kinds of stone formations that have been crushed together. Would you like to move stealthily or nonchalantly?
Stealthily.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so you move in near silence, trying to keep your voices and jiggling, noisy, I don't know, equipment banging off each other movement to a minimum. As you hear the occasional roar from a distance, the odd sounds of an explosion far off, and even a strange screeching at one point as you continue to move through these valleys of rubble. Eventually, you get to a T-junction where you can feel a soft drift wind coming from the north, or you can continue to the northeast where you last saw the smoke rising as it starts to dissipate in the air. What would you like to do?
Do we want to rest before continuing on?
That is the question. You're still currently out in the open with no clear sign of safety.
Yeah.
Do you risk it, or do you keep pushing forward?
Because something's going to have probably noticed the airship.
Mm-hmm.
So I doubt we're going to get it without a bit of a scrap. So, and I currently feel like I'm about to pass out.
As you're looking about, you can actually see some form of stone formation to your north. Maybe it's some form of shelter that you could possibly take hiding in.
Take cover.
Yeah, that's the word.
We'll
Take
have a
cover
look at
that's
it
the word.
and see if it's suitable.
Mm-hmm.
But it is off the path towards the smoke.
Well, who's the quietest of us?
Probably fuck you.
Probably fuck you.
But have you got, and you've got good sight on you, or?
I've got very good sight. But...
Yeah, Alvina's probably got the best sight, but I've probably got the best stealth.
Yeah.
How
I'm gonna
about
stand here and then just look, because I can get an angle on this. Everything in this area that is not physically blocked by something. What is there?
Give me a perception sight check still. You can see stuff, but how good you're able to kind of discern it will come up to your perception.
19.
Plus, the map isn't.
Ooh.
The map is a simplification of the ground. There'll be more twists and turns and rock caves and stuff.
Yeah.
19. You definitely get a good feel on the location. There doesn't appear to be anything obviously moving about, but as you're kind of looking into it, it looks to be some form of man-made stone structure ahead. There are some small groves of trees along that seem to be growing out of a chalk-like wall substance. And you also see what appears to be some medium-sized hoof prints in the ground.
There's some hoof prints.
Far off.
How
good,
fresh?
Maybe 300 to 400 feet. From a distance, you probably can't discern it. And
Okay.
it would also require a survival check for you to get... you need to get close enough to do a survival check.
I can do fine details from that mile, by the way, so...
Yeah,
It's-
whoever the DM has no idea just how does a survival check work. I feel like you're looking at the depth and how like any warmth coming off it. I don't know how tracking works.
That's very fair. It looks fairly... There's some...
How
hoof
far
prints-
is it to? How far is it to the top? To basically
still,
this bit there.
Yeah, are these still 10-foot squares?
This is more of an exploration map, so let's make them slightly bigger.
Ooh.
Because, well, you know, it's not
Just
not that
because.
Well, because I want you guys to get the feel that you're exploring this massive junkyard.
Well, I can use something to keep us in communication with you, fuck you, if we can stay in a certain distance away from you, but at that point, it's kind of, with how far that is away, Alvina, you said, that we might as well all go.
Probably not a
But
bad idea.
Quietly.
Yeah.
If it wasn't such a distance, I think we could have used the message and just relayed it back. But
We could
for
do...
safety purposes and how we're all feeling right now, let's go as a group.
Yeah, we can...
Let's do 30. I think 30 is a good medium-sized travel distance. Each square is 30 feet.
Mm.
Can move 1.5 squares. I can move 1.5 squares. God damn it!
Don't move too far ahead, then, Alvina. I know you're quicker than us, but
Oh, yep. Sorry.
I don't want.
We keep a little bit ahead because you're in the heavy armor and it clanks usually. I know it's quieter than most, but it still clanks.
We don't like clankers.
It doesn't clank as much. It's very form-fitting.
So yeah, we're gonna
Alrighty then.
head up that way. Actually.
Alright, let's stealth forward then. Everyone roll me a stealth check.
I'm just seeing.
Actually, that's alright.
And you were calling me clanky?
Yeah, don't clank. I stood in
you're
a
just
thorn
like-
bush and scream.
You're just like whistling as you
Yeah, I
walk
just-
along.
Oh no, I know what's happened.
What?
I know what were you saying earlier? What did you have tied to your back?
Clang!
Cold,
The
cold,
fates
cold,
have
cold,
spoken,
cold.
and you
I tied
have already...
Unfortunately, I literally did tie them more securely.
Fate is dictated. What you were going to have happen happens.
It's just the two spears clanging together that you weren't accounting for because they're new.
Ah, yeah.
You have to walk awkwardly with them.
I hold them both in one hand.
Okay, so the party moves forward, attempting to scout. TR, go ahead and roll me a perception check. Let's get you back into the game here.
Yeah.
As the characters meet their first NPC, or I guess in this case a player character from a new world.
Mm.
Do you play
All
cards? Very niche joke. If you get it, I like it.
And if you
You
don't
see-
get it, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
You see everyone except for fuck you.
No one ever knows.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Who's fuck you? Fuck you's got.
Yeah.
Move the rest of you guys forward a bit here.
Fuck you's just behind me or something.
TR, why don't you tell me, being aware of the characters approaching, first of all, what are you doing here in the Stonehenge-like structure? And how would you like this interaction with the characters to go? We're going to have a bit of a cutscene where the players get to
Fuck you
dictate
somehow
how they want
managed to climb up a cliff.
it makes sense as to why we're the only ones stealthing. You're taking the high ground. How does the new
show the
character
top
get
corner?
introduced to them?
Is there an exit out this way?
Yes.
Yes.
He just leaves.
It's doing like a weird
It's like, there's people coming.
I
Oh,
cannot
there we
control
go.
my person.
Oh, he can't control Gwent.
Poor Gwent.
Yeah, that makes sense. 1 second, I haven't actually assigned it to you yet. Controllers, players, save, next got reassign. You should be able to move it now. I'll just reassign it to the character.
I've got the Gwent song going through my head now, by the way. Just wanted to point this out.
There we go.
I do not know the Gwent song.
I don't
Oh, I'm
know
gonna
either.
put it in chat. It's a good one.
But yes, what is the party? Actually, Gwen, you'd probably be stealthing too. Go ahead and give me a stealth check as well. See if the party actually see you, or if you're seeing them first. As after all, you know how dangerous it can be out
15.
here. Who's got a passive perception higher than 15?
Passive,
Pass-
no.
I'd be actively
Passive.
looking for something, yeah. But
Okay, everyone, give me a perception check. I gave Gwen a perception check.
My
As you're
passive-
each, you're
my
each
passive-
paranoidically looking out for the other.
I find you.
my
Yes.
Wow, you guys are terrible at both hiding from each other and also stealthing up on each other.
There's a horse person here.
Fuck you can see everyone.
Yep. So let's start with
Zomir
what
doesn't
is the
see.
party?
I can see
What
more
is the
than
party
everyone.
Though my passive is 15, but I'm being distracted by going, ha, I told you I don't, clank.
What does the
Looking at
party see
Alvin.
when they come upon Gwen?
Yeah, I put it in Discord. Listen to it after the stream. Even if it is short.
Yes, TR. What is the party seeing when they come upon Gwen? Since you both have failed to hide from each other.
Gwent has just been stirred awake, so lying on the floor under a thick blanket. Has just noticed you and is praying that nobody's seen them, but just made eye contact with pretty much everybody.
I'm just dead eyes with glowing eyes of what I have.
And you just see a mech-like guy walking behind.
And then just proceeds to go shit and peg it.
Well, nothing says they're not a threat to the party like pegging it.
Well,
Fair choice. Fair choice.
Like, can't
What?
squeeze through the holes that side, so has to run around, unfortunately, to get there.
Can I
So
go
won't get
over?
that far.
You won't. Yeah,
Quite
I
the idea
think-
of this like little cat chase moment of introduction of the character. The
Good,
party
some horse
sees Gwen
jumping.
get up, run around, and flee. And clearly a centaur, the only Noid race you've seen.
How
What's
far
going through the party's mind?
guess there are centaurs here.
How far was she before she got away?
Let's see. It is.
Well, there's 30 feet squares.
6. So. I can't do maths all of a sudden. 6 times 5 plus 30 is 180. They're 180 feet away.
Can you? I've got an actual question for Thea. Do you have any movement speed increases?
Yes.
Okay. Just that was why I was like, you're moving quicker than a normal centaur. Okay.
Yes.
However, this is a cutscene, so you guys don't get to do skill checks. What going through the party's mind is they see a centaur very skitterishly flee from them.
I'll chase them down later. On a nap.
Well, with the 20 that Lou got, would be like, why did they just run through there? Are they being followed by something?
No, they seen us and ran.
Yeah, we looked them dead in the eye and they buggered off.
There was. Oh, wait. Where's? Fuck you! Where are you?
He's on the cliff.
Not even like seeing me. He's on a cliff somewhere. I know he is.
Yeah.
The fucker's gonna jump out at me.
He's like, he's somewhere.
Yeah, I think Lou is the only one who's able to see Fukyu with a 20.
Yeah. I matched him. Yeah.
They seem to have slept there, so maybe this is a good place to rest up.
I'm gonna go and look if they left anything behind.
Keep on walking up that way.
Yeah, did they leave anything besides the apparently fake blanket? What is it, a rock?
We'll find out.
Is the good doctor not gonna have a word with Alvina about, like, stealing?
No. Salvaging.
Gwen, did you leave anything behind for the party to find?
I reckon... Oh, some bloody bandages and some water.
Yeah.
Interesting, okay. So very clearly giving the appearance off that you're wounded in some way.
How fresh does the blood look on the bandages?
Medicine check?
I was really hoping it was going to be survival, if it is.
Medicine check.
Well, you heard him. He said medicine check. It's his character introduction.
Yeah. Oh, medicine's wisdom. It's not the worst in the world. It's not a negative. It's just bad.
That's a positive.
10!
It's blood. It's definitely blood.
It is blood, correct.
It's not hot sauce, it's blood.
I can definitely confirm this is blood.
This is blood.
Yes.
Well done, Alvina.
Which means our skittish friend is injured.
Wasn't it like him?
Just as bad as us.
Well,
unfortunately, I think they're going to be too far for me to try and communicate with them.
we can do it.
They are, unless you want to give base and have a higher movement than whatever Gwen's movement is.
Hell no.
It's like, if it was a normal centaur, I'd outrun them. But if there's any movement speed, I can't outrun them. So...
Alvina, can you see any sign of them?
Unless has the actual line of sight been broken? Because if not, I can still see them.
Yes, only because there's a lot more twists and turns than the map dictates.
Yeah, that's what I was going. Yeah. Nah, they went around a couple corners.
I suggest we maybe set up camp and get some much-needed rest. And if our friend comes back, reassure them that we mean them no harm, and they can tend to their wounds and rest up here as well.
Yeah. You know what's always a good sign that we're not hostile? Let's cook some food.
Yes, I agree. Some
sustenance.
I have a bunch of oranges.
Let's switch back to Gwen. As Gwen, you've just seen these new strange people come upon you, and you've currently fled for now, and you've come to this what appears to be this large valley with small caves and pockets blocked off by iron rock gates. What are you thinking? What would you like to do?
Do the
This
gates
is now
look well kept, or do
your
they
story
look...
as well? They look to be swept down of dust or chalk or anything, so they appear to at least be clean. They even have a fresh coat of black paint on them. Definitely well kept.
Well kept means well used. Shit. Oh god, where to go? But I am like trying to like get myself the best viewpoint both directions and seeing if I'm being followed at all.
All right, as you look back, you can't hear any sounds, but go ahead and give me a perception check, as you're gonna have to creep back a little bit to see if you're being followed. As you kind of creep back a little bit and trying to see if you're being followed, listening out for anything, you don't hear anything nearby, but you can hear a slight echoing of what appears to be well, a reasonably friendly and lively atmosphere, as they appear to be talking amongst themselves, too far to make out what they're saying. And
Here.
is that a slight crackling of fire as they're making food? Apparently,
Here,
you can even smell a slight scent of something in the air. What is the party making?
Here, give me that spear whilst you're making your food.
I've not got the spear's on my back. He's got the unfrozen one. More use than these ones. These ones are still covered in ice.
Who hands it over?
Very slowly melting.
It's in draconic. I can't read it.
Area.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to see if it's anything. What it is.
Yeah, I think it's better to tell them the one that's not covered in ice. You might just detect what the ice
Yeah.
is.
You're gonna
Over
effectively
them.
try and short rest and gain a ritual identify. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll let you know if you gain the benefits of a short rest. We'll see.
I think we're going to try and do more than a short
Yeah, we're
rest
going to do a
here.
long rest or I'm going to
Yeah.
die.
I mean,
Yeah.
We'll see.
fuck you.
We'll see.
Hey, I can do a
whilst you're doing
4-hour short long rest.
that- Why are you doing that? Fuck you's richly casting Tiny Hut.
That'll do it.
Hilariously, this might be the one area that won't matter. Anyway.
Oh, yay.
Doesn't matter. He's casting Tiny Hut because
He wants his comfort.
yeah.
Oh.
So Gwen, yes, you hear they appear to be setting up camp rather than following you. What's going through your head? Because I have no
Why are they
idea
following
how you view other people.
Why are
They are
following
not following you. As far as you can tell, they're not following you.
Okay, I'm just gonna try to sneak closer to see who they are and why they're not following me.
Making ramen, by the way.
You're
With
crazy.
with orange zest.
With orange... Well, it's actually got whatever seasonings you want. I've still got 7 charges of my spice pouch and resets on a rest. So, what do you want, guys?
No, you've probably got seasoning that don't even exist in this world.
Yeah.
I've de-armored a bit as well, so you can see the more normal brown fur-haired individual whilst you're cooking food and I'm setting up the ritual.
But Gwen, as you do get a peek on them, they are nothing like you've ever seen in this world before.
Happy.
They're to be heavily well maintained and fresh. I assume fresh armor. You have been battling, but also you could have time to repair it. They don't appear to be donned in scraps, or they appear to have a weird mishmash of colors and clothing of cultural garb that don't actually exist in this world.
I'll
They're
have
really
the
happier than you've ever seen anyone in this world.
Alvina. I'll have a medium spiced ramen.
You got it.
So I think I like it.
You got it.
Just to clarify, you've lost a member of your
hot one.
party, a good friend, and your solution is to have a party.
It's what Steve would want. It's a wake, not a
It's
party.
awake. Yeah, it actually is awake.
Food is comfortable.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the most like hardened adventure.
And you know, with ramen, it's like
I think I've
hot
ever
water.
It's we actually did it LARP a lot, so...
Now we've lost another good adventuring friend. It happens. Well, time to have a wake. The
Yep.
only way.
Yeah, that's how we show our respect. If we don't have a party, then it sucks.
Unfortunately,
We
we
have
don't.
food babies.
Do we have any alcohol to drink? And
Give me a second. Does an alcohol... Actually, I can make cooking alcohol probably. I can make cooking alcohol probably. It'd be like
Not gonna
moonshine.
taste too good.
It'd be alcohol. It's something.
Because I think we need to have a drink to Steve.
Yeah. It's anything non-magical that is considered seasoning, is the description of it. So, probably?
I don't think any alcohol.
We could
counts as
make
seasoning.
fireball. I
don't think we could. It'd be like. I'm assuming it's like.
the cinnamon.
I'm assuming it's like cooking alcohol level seasoning, essentially. Like, it's
Yeah, but that's
real.
not seasoning. Like, if it said any cooking ingredient, I'd let you have, like, cooking alcohol. But cooking alcohol isn't seasoning.
Ever.
Well, you could use it for basting.
Yeah, but if you're having to, like, justify it, you're probably wrong.
Actually, I know what I can
Depends how
do.
good a chef
Here's
you
a type of hot sauce which will make it feel like you're drunk.
I'll allow it to.
I also just realised I've got a tankard of sobriety, so it won't make me drunk anyway. Like, regardless.
Why do you have that?
And why?
Cheating at drinking contests. Also, I think I killed someone for it.
Okay.
I think I murdered someone for it. No, I won it in a bet. I didn't murder someone for that one.
Yeah,
Yes,
not
a
that
couple
one.
minutes go by of the party settling down to rest and more in their good friend Steve.
To Steve.
Gwen, it's very
Steve.
apparent this party doesn't appear to be hostile in any way, and they're certainly not after you. What would you like to do? You can either continue watching, approach them, or explore on your own. I wouldn't recommend exploring your own.
They just leave. And he dies again! Died twice in the same session!
That would be quite the record.
Yeah, I even have no
Thanks for
manners, though.
Alterra. I'm sure there's plenty of campaigns where that actually has genuinely happened.
I've almost died, twice in the same session, but not quite. Because we ended the session before I died, admittedly, but still.
So, okay, time stop here.
And we never came back to it, so I don't know if that character's alive or dead or not.
Blood
Yes, Gwent. What is your approach? Which of the options would you like?
After watching them for a while,
Yep.
Gwent's going to go and get one of her only possessions. I'm going for the blanket. So I'm not doing it stealthily. I'm clip-clopping, like, with a purpose so they can hear me coming, so they don't... And I'm being very slowly coming in.
How long are you roughly waiting? 10 minutes? 30 minutes? An hour?
Well, 10 minutes and the hut would pop up and my ritual would have popped off.
It's got to be 10 minutes. I mean, time to boil the noodles, get the sauce ready.
Yeah.
Yep, I basically only needed to know if it was an hour so I could roll in the random encounter table.
Yeah, I know, so no, 10 minutes.
Yeah!
I don't know, I feel like it'd be
me
great.
out there
Hey,
alone.
hey guys, how's it going? DM announces, by the way, yeah, something happens.
Howdy.
There, well, first thing then, I'd first identify pops off. You're identifying the spear. Per the rules of the identify spell, it is not a magic item, at least not in the classical sense, and it is not imbued with other magic imbued
Well,
objects.
his hut would go before my thing because it's 10 minutes to cast do the ritual and a minute
I
casting.
have no response to the hut. The hut appears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there.
The DM doesn't have to give
Fuck
you
you,
information
goes
about
in.
your hut.
The house arrives.
Pop.
Whereas
It's
the
a home
identify
delivery.
actually has a source of information from the DM. Your identify spell tells you that this is not a magic item or has any or is not magic imbued.
Actually, I can't do the identify.
You know how that is.
I don't have a pearl. 100 GP pearl.
Why wouldn't you have?
Also,
Yeah.
isn't the part of a ritual you don't need the components a lot of the time? Oh no, if it has a gold price, it does. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you,
You technically don't need the material
Surely you
of
would
any
have
spell
brought
unless it costs something.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can have a pearl. You're level 8.
Okay.
If you use the spell a lot, presumably you just keep. It
Yeah.
doesn't consume
Yeah.
the pearl. You just
Yeah.
have a pearl on you.
you have
Okay.
a pearl earring.
Yeah.
Or
Fair
pearl
enough.
necklace.
It's like a
Oh,
it's like
boo! I thought you were going to
magic
say
item.
that.
Yeah.
I gave you the equivalent of whatever how many common items you wanted.
Mm.
But yes, this is not a magic item in the sense that your spell would recognize.
So, what are they?
I don't know. The spell didn't seem to figure out what it was?
Oh, they're not magic.
So the spell didn't work?
No, I don't think they're magical.
Oh.
I mean, I could have cast detect magic on it, but I didn't see the point of doing detect magic if I'm going to see what it was.
Yeah, I assumed they were magic. Why would they be keep on ice? Question. Can I roll a thing to know if, because I know it's got dragon iconography, can we know if dragon stuff counts as magic? Can I make a roll for that? 'Cause I haven't made a knowledge roll yet for it.
Yeah, give me an Arcana check or something like that.
Yeah. It's unlikely to go off anyway, but it might, you never know! 9. Nope, probably not.
How does magic work? Who knows? Who knows?
Guess it's not magic. It's a normal spear. They're just pretty, I guess.
Just aesthetics.
Hey, they're cool. No pun intended, but yeah, they're cool.
Yeah. Not knocking it, I'm just saying, like, it's obviously not runic. Just aesthetics.
Can
Pretty
I give,
pictures.
I like 'em.
Can I give a once over? And
Yeah, go
see
for
if I can determine.
Not
Nope.
much. Not much better.
Okay,
You
I'm
come
gonna
from
give
a
it a
world in
try.
which everything's pretty much attributed to magic. Who knows how this new primordial place works? Wow,
Yes,
you-
I'm the smarter than you.
You all
Okay,
suck
can-
at magic.
I'm allowed to suck at magic. I've got a -2.
I just rolled bad.
I'm a
But yes,
pro.
as you're all looking at this, and you're all, I don't know, comfortably moving into your tiny hut, Gwen appears to be clip-clopping towards you.
Howdy.
Fuck you, you might want to let our friend, the new person in if they want.
We got some food for her if you like.
It's a bloody centaur. I don't like him.
Why do you not like
You also have to
centaurs?
They smell.
Technically recast the spell.
Be nice.
I'm going to say back in Goblin. I don't much like goblins either.
See?
I
I can trust him.
yeah, he speaks goblin. I don't know what he just said, but hi.
It seemed
My-
aggressive.
What doesn't?
Everything in Goblin sounds aggressive.
Yeah, they could have said, "How's the weather today?" and it sounded aggressive.
My friend, we mean you no harm, and we quite need a rest, so
If you want to attack us, come back in like 8 hours.
yes.
Are
But
you chasing me?
no,
No,
No.
we
We didn't even
We
know
don't
you
know
were
what-
here.
I just spotted you and you ran off.
Oh, yeah. I'm being hunted.
Ah,
As you run.
I mean, you run at them usually for me, but yeah.
we. How best to explain this?
We don't have no idea where the fuck we are.
We don't know what this place is. Last thing
We
we
don't
knew.
know how we got here.
Last thing, this does not seem like Alterra to us.
Yeah, last time we woke up, we ended up in a crater. There was an explosion, I think.
Because
I was
'cause I
unconscious for a while. There were wolves, and then I was in a
'Cause I-
crater.
pointing up, I don't remember that being back on our plane.
As the party looks up at a sky filled with debris, lit by astral clouds, the astral sea has never looked more chaotic.
It looks about the same.
I mean, you're in the scraplands.
Have you ever had
Appropriate
a
name. Appropriate name.
Well,
None the wiser, sorry.
that doesn't help us, but we in desperate need of a rest and to maybe recover one of our fallen things.
One of our colleagues just died.
Horrific.
Yes.
Quite possibly.
I'm betting it's horrific.
Sorry.
We are currently missing something that's kind of important to us, and we also still have to hunt someone ourselves.
Yeah, I got bitten by a lot of vampires. I'm kind of anemic right now.
You haven't seen a very strange vampire-looking friend.
He's not a friend.
Looking.
He's very much not a friend.
Yeah, I know what you. I know, but wearing an overalls and
overalls, weird goggles, cocky accent. Probably got a few minions around him. Yeah, it looks like a dick. Probably
Yes.
covered in sawdust or ash.
No.
Okay.
Sorry. No.
That means he's not here.
vampires.
That means he's not here. Yet.
well,
He always turns up.
Burns up.
we need some rest, my friends. And if you're not going to fight us, we are not going to fight you. I'd like to get some sleep.
Just gonna get my blanket.
Yeah, sure.
You do what you
Oh yeah,
gotta do.
you injured in any way? Because there's blood on these.
Yeah, but I'll be okay.
Okay. Thumbs up.
We could help you with
Fuck
that.
is just eyeing him up as he like walks around.
Well, I'm going
But
into the hut.
maintaining eye contact with fuck you at all times. Like,
Zormir just walks into the hut and
Yep. Have a bowl of ramen. I made spares.
falls flat on the floor.
Yep.
Everything hurts.
I walk over, hand you a bowl of ramen, wave at you, walk back into the tiny hut, and then immediately just sit on the floor and go into a trance.
I will take the blanket and the ramen and go to the opposite side of wherever the hut's entrance is.
It's
Like,
literally a
back
dome.
against
It
the
doesn't
wall.
have it doesn't have an entrance.
I think it's like a weird little Eskimo.
I think you get to
Yep.
choose if it has a visible entrance or not, I think.
No, it's literally just like a
Dome.
spherical dome.
Yeah.
Let's find out. A immobile dome of force springs into existence around you and above you and remains stationary for the duration. 9 creatures can fit inside the dome with you. The spell fails if the area includes a larger creature or more than 9 creatures. Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast this spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. So is Gwen. You weren't in it when the spell got cast. Spells and other magical effects can extend from
Not
the
going
dome.
in it.
The atmosphere inside the space is comfortable and dry, regardless of the weather outside. Until spells end, you can command the interior to become dimly lit or dark. The dome is opaque from the outside of any color you choose, but it is transparent from the inside.
Cool.
Yeah. You can see out, but you can't see in.
It's tinted glass, basically.
I'm just gonna
it's a
put
tinted
myself in
fourth
the
glass.
corner, like sniff the ramen.
It'll be one of the
And then-
medium spice ones, like not crazy hot, but not crazy cool either.
Like, take a sip, give myself a minute to see if I die, and then then have the rest, put the blanket on, and try and get some sleep myself.
Yep.
You know, I just
But,
check
like-
if I die.
Half open.
Alvina, I'm assuming, is pretty good at cooking. She's all right.
To be fair. Alright, time continues to pass as Gwen stares at the dome, and everyone is free to stare out the dome at Gwen, unbeknownst to Gwen. Choose so.
Yep. She's in the Alvina's in the trance, so she can perceive everything around her for the full time. So she's gonna be just staring at him in the trance.
Would the party like to do anything within the first hour of resting?
No.
Uh,
I'll have eaten.
I'm gonna have a look at the
eaten-
dragon egg.
Eaten the ramen.
You do, so let me know if you're trying to
Fuck, you
discern
would have
anything
eaten
from
then
them.
fallen asleep.
Yeah.
Alvina
Had to
needs to
sleep,
sleep.
sorry.
Zormir is already snoring.
Yeah, Alvina's gonna be perceiving everything in the general area, for the first 4 hours, basically. Then a long rest is done, if nothing horrible interrupts. So.
Well, after the first hour, I'm going to need one of the party. Let's see who we can pick on here. Let's go with Fukyu to roll me a d20 to see if anything happens.
Gwent just gets...
You draw the attention to the nearby landlord.
Gwen gets murdered outside.
Yeah, Gwent gets attacked by a kraken or something!
You wake up to a dead horse.
So, let's see, what are the...
As long as it's not in the same bed.
No, he's not got the head part.
There's only a 25% chance, so... Fukyu, roll me a d20, don't get 5 or lower.
D20.
God fucking damn it!
Alrighty then.
I'm staying asleep. I'll die asleep, I don't care.
At least you know what never hit you.
I mean,
I will
as
know,
long
I'm
as-
an elf.
As long as the tiny head
Don't-
doesn't get dispelled, nothing can get to us.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Sorry, Gwen. Goodbye, it's nice meeting you. Keep the ramen bowl intact, please.
For those who are keeping watch of the first hour, finishing up their food and such, as you'd at least want somebody on watching if you are planning on long resting, you see a large mechanical eye floating down the valley to the north towards the stone ruins. And do I actually have an image I can use for this? Let's find out here. I need a giant eye.
Goddamn Google.
I'm semi-conscious, apparently, during the trance, so I'm kind of perceiving around me. That's what elves do, apparently, instead of sleep. I very rarely play elves.
Oh, yeah,
It's like
We got a
you
weird...
got 4 hours.
We got the 4 hour of kind of
Sort of
perceptive...
meditation.
Yeah, kind of perceptive rest is weird.
Where's like the aberration stuff? That's probably has an eye
I mean,
in it.
it's like
You can use a beholder, if nothing else.
Yeah, where's that?
Warforged. They don't sleep. They
Dark
just have to
Souls.
be immobile for 6 hours.
Yeah. Beholder is in standard dungeon assets, I believe. It's the same one that has all like the dragons and classic monsters.
Standard dungeon. I don't think they have this here.
Really? It's usually on. It was on mine. It's been a while since I've used them, but there's like
Yeah.
a just dungeon entities or something like that, or like standard in the like assets box. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's got.
Let's use a roper. Roper
Roper
works.
works. Yeah.
There you go. This is creepy enough.
Yeah.
As a large
What the hell
mechanical
is it?
eye starts to float towards the party.
It's a roper.
It's a roper.
It's a stalactite with tentacles and teeth.
Well, in this
Never
case,
seen
it's
one
a
before.
large mechanical eye made of copper.
Yeah.
It basically drags you in and basically eats you.
Mechanical Eye of Doom.
Mechanical Eye of Doom. As it gains closer to the party, apparently its eye fixed on the tiny hut. What color is the tiny hut? Since you can make it any color from the outside.
Fuck you would have tried made it the same color as the ground, basically.
I tried to camouflage it.
Same color as the ground, that's fair. You notice that the large mechanical eye seems to be a teal crystal eye. As it moves towards, clearly in the direction of the hut, as it floats above the dome, the ruins, and hovers directly at an angle to the hut. It appears to be staring at you. Or at least staring at the hut anyway, but it definitely feels like it's watching you. Would the party like to do anything?
While in trance, I will put my right arm up towards it with the middle finger extended. Yeah, that's all Vada's gonna do. She's not gonna do much.
Fair. Does anyone else in the party want to do anything? Gwent being outside the safety of the tiny hut, the eye doesn't seem to have noticed you. Would you like to do anything as well?
Staying still and quiet, hiding beneath my blanket.
And are the rest of the party following suit? Is anyone not staying still or quiet?
I mean,
I'm already
asleep, so...
so I'm here.
As the giant eye, a segment beneath the eye, opens, revealing a maw. And booming out of the maw is a voice in common. Who trespasses upon my land? As it vibrates the cliff walls and penetrates into the tiny hut, waking you all. How do you respond?
No response at all.
Just silence.
Very groggily, sleepy Zarmir sticks the butt of his gun out and fires. Shut up! I'm sleeping!
As you do so,
And now we're dying.
the bullet, or the energy, deflects off of its metallic hide. You have missed.
Bloody hell.
As the eye twitches to where you the direction that you shot and stares back at the tiny hut. You dare attack my constructs!
I was sleeping and you woke me up.
You are trespassers upon my land!
Where are we? Who are you? Can you just let me
Bugger
sleep
off and
5
come back in 5 hours!
You insult me!
No, I told you to bugger off. That's not an insult.
If that is how you want to do it,
No.
then you shall all pay the price of trespassing upon Cross and Bones' land.
Cross and bone.
How much does it cost?
You must beg in my presence and kiss my feet.
You're not here, I can't do that.
Then you must march to my tower and do so.
We're very tired, we don't know where we are.
Silence! I do not care for your excuses.
And I don't care for your demands. Sod off.
Second shot.
It misses.
If the first one misses, that misses.
You have a choice, for Cross and Bones are very patient and merciful to strangers.
That's nice.
Will you let us sleep?
No!
Fuck off.
I will give you a chance to march to our tower and beg forgiveness, or I will slaughter you each from a distance.
Can he get in here?
No.
Alright.
Would I know about Cross and Bones, Chris?
It's the name of an NPC in a foreign world in an alternative reality.
It's his
I
world.
don't know.
But I
That's fair.
am
I realized she was
actually
asking.
from this reality, the only one who may know.
Yes.
They're kind of just a minor, like, faction boss or like territory boss, and kind of a hermit.
That's
So, how long have you been in this area? Like, how long have you been actually in the Scraplards?
Scrap lard.
The Scraplands.
I've been in the Scraplards
Or-
for...
More importantly, this exact
Scraplards.
scrap yard.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the Scrapyard.
Scrap lard. That's what the trolls are in.
But yeah, like,
Not super
How,
long, so I would not then.
are you new to this? I quite like the idea of you being new to this area because it means you don't know any of this as well.
That's absolutely fine. Yeah, no idea who this is.
They're not like an important figure or anything, so you most likely don't know of them because this is the first time you'll be meeting
They
them.
believe that they're important, though.
Oh, they believe they're important. But they believe they're important in the way that a hermit believes they're important when they've never seen
Yeah.
one.
They believe they're important in the same way that a man with a tinfoil hat believes lizards rule the world.
And
You
you're
mean
saying
they don't?
Maybe I must show you my power, the power of cross and bones.
Is it like crochet?
The large metallic eye begins to glow, the teal crystal powering up as a mist starts to extrude from it. And slowly, each of you feel a prickle on the back of your neck as the mana in the area is drained, as it consumes a 3rd level spell of Tiny Hut. The hut evaporates, leaving you all exposed to the air, and the eye glowing with mana.
I'm still sleeping. I'm staying in the trance, I don't care.
Your safety is now no longer guaranteed.
Can he I just realised, I'm still got the finger in the air. Can he now see that?
Yeah.
I've just been sitting like that the entire time, just in the trance.
If I can't...
Fuck you's gonna, like, spring up, wrap his, or swing his guitar around, look at him, and say, "Your mama's so fat when she goes clumping the bear hides their food." And cast shatter on the on the eye, basically.
Alrighty then. Let's have a look here.
Alvina refuses to be interrupted with her rest.
So it'd be a con save.
Yep, I just need to pull up an old stat block I haven't used for a while.
Ooh.
I'm assuming
yes.
it's within 60 foot of us.
Probably.
Yeah, I was looking down. Let's put it 60 feet above the ground. It doesn't have to be within melee to suck the mana out, but it has to be within a certain range. Let's make this... Okay, so a copper coloring, but if any of you actually hit it, you'll see something else underneath it. Cool.
Ooh. Actually made it tinfoil.
This guy sent out his big one. Alrighty then. Whew, I might be too cruel in this one, but oh well. Alright, Constitution saving throw. It doesn't have proficiency. Was it immune to anything? It is, but not thunder damage. That's fine. This is just a +5. 25.
Damn.
Yep, so it takes 4 thunder.
He takes it. As echoing once more. I see! Is that your final answer to Cross and Bones, who have shown you mercy?
Yes!
Do you wish death?
Fuck! Yes!
I wish sleep, and you keep on bugging us. If we come here...
It is! I shall slaughter you!
Can I sleep at your house?
Maybe if you had not insulted Cross and Bones, but now it is too late. You have chosen your path.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
As roll for initiative. You had the chance of diplomacy, and you shot him.
Brother.
I didn't shoot him.
I shot him because he was annoying me. I was trying to sleep and he woke me up.
Yes, and hilarious if you shoot strangers in a
fair
foreign land to
response.
get hostile back.
Oh, I got a nat 20. Sure. I got a natural 1 and a natural 20 on my initiative. What? Thank God for advantage.
Wait.
That being said, Alvina just wants to sleep.
Oh, that's... Why can I grab...
Because we all have control of each other, okay, it's easier.
I'm making sure I'm actually holding on to the right person here.
You're here.
Righty then, you have entered Cross and Bones land, ruins, your backyard,
Personal space.
We've not actually found his tower. You just found his like entrance area, so backyard makes sense.
Hmm.
And to think you could have made friends with them and slept in their bed. Oh well. or slept in their spare room bed.
Hey, that's on the so-called good doctor.
Yeah.
He woke me up.
Can't say I didn't give you multiple choices here.
You did.
Zormar fired first.
You woke up and chose death. Or you woke up and chose violence.
We kind of did choose death. Okay.
No,
Alrighty
Zormar
then,
chose
Alvena,
forest.
you get to go before the metallic beholder. What would you like to do?
Cool. Alvina is going to walk over here, settle down, and go back to sleep. It's like, you guys deal with it. I'm going back to bed. Sort it out. I'll maybe have a talk with you afterwards if you win. I point up at the
If you
beholder.
survive.
But I'm going to sleep. I'll deal with this later. And she goes back into a trance. Jeremy, that's what she's doing. She's gonna die from one hit from anything. So
Then, the metallic beholder's turn, activating around its spherical body, small little slots open up and tendril stalks start protruding from its body into a very familiar, terrifying shape. As I need a color on the end of these eyes, because the new world requires new abilities.
Ooh.
Which one's a good reddish? Ooh, vermilion. Oh, beautiful. As to complement its massive teal crystal eye are a number of small vermilion eye stalks, each with a small vermilion crystal on the end of them. Okay.
Badass.
That's a teal and vermilion metallic beholder then. At the start of its turn, it shoots 3 of the following magical eye rays at random. Okay, who were the targets that taught it first? Zormir, Fukyu, and unfortunately, Lou, your process of elimination, you're also in the area, so...
I walked away.
I need each of you to roll me a d10. We're about to get
7.
random.
4.
9.
Alright, I'm pretty sure these get progressively worse, so let's start with Dr. Zormir. Oh yeah, I think you may have just TPK'd the party. Oh well. I gave the choice.
Thanks. You brought me in and then killed
Yeah,
me.
but I say Lou didn't do nothing. Lou did nothing.
Dr. Zormir, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw as one of the vermilion eye shoots a laser beam across towards you. Nice, as you are able to jump out of the way, avoiding its effect. As Lou, a second vermilion laser shoots towards you, I need a wisdom saving throw as it suddenly flashes in a blinding light, the laser vanishing. As nothing happens to you, as you're able to shake off the effects of this blinding light. And
Somebody's
finally,
lucky.
and finally, Fukyu, as a third laser comes out of one of the eye stalks, slashing towards you. I need a dexterity saving throw.
Oh dear.
Would you like to do anything before I announce the results of the roll?
Actually, I've got inspiration, so I'm going to use that.
Yep, yeah, you all start with 1 destiny point at the start of any session.
That's better. Well, I've
Forgot
it's
about those.
not a destiny point. It's actually inspiration.
Yeah, it has an inspiration.
Oh yeah, I actually give it. It's because I so rarely give it inspiration, because I was way too distracted about running the session. That's fair.
I was
You
just
make
going to say, what the hell, dude? I never did nothing.
as you are able to jump out of the way at the last second, as a tear is formed in the earth below you, disintegrating it. A nice little cut through the land.
Mm-hmm.
That is the metallic beholder's turn. Gwent, it is your turn, and it appears that your new friends have gotten into some trouble. What would you like to do?
How does everybody actually look, like, health-wise? Is it bad?
Probably dead.
I have got 6 health remaining and a max health currently of 25 out of my 88. So I look basically like I'm about to have a heart attack on the spot.
Max health of 27, currently 12 with 8 temp.
Okay, so
Health-wise looks fine.
I'm not too bad.
Yeah, the goblin just looks fit and healthy.
okay, well in that case I'm going to bonus action from underneath my blanket, trying to stay hidden because I'll be using my action to hide. I'm
Right,
going to
fair.
mass healing word. Everybody gets 16 health. Which is not bad.
It's almost max health currently. Thank you.
Wow.
Cheers.
And Glenn, you're
Everybody
gonna
gets some
hide
help.
after that?
Oh, yeah. He hasn't noticed me so far. I am doing my best to hide.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do a good job.
Stealth horse.
Stealth.
You've got an elven cape.
Mass healing word is a bonus action. You can't bonus action hide. Unless you use
No,
No,
but you can
you
actually
main
hide.
action hide.
Action hiding.
So used to bonus action hiding, forget action could be
You can actually hide normally.
you can hide action too.
You could just be a coward. It works.
You can technically hide twice if you really wanted to. With
Yeah.
bonus action and action.
You
if
can
have the
really
ability.
hide.
But that is their turn. Zormir, it is your turn. The Metallic Beholder appears to have chosen, have gone along with your choice of death. What would you like to do?
He's gone along with my choice of death.
Well, you did shoot him, so so far both of your attacks have missed.
I mean, you shot him twice, to be fair. It is your own fault.
Yeah.
Okay. I put the gun down. And say, okay, I surrender. I will not fight you anymore. No more firing with me. I apologize. I will fix any damage I did or anything I broke.
All right, give me a persuasion check. Cross and bones, if anything, if not merciful.
That's what it says in its pamphlets, isn't it? Pretty good.
It's a good argument.
What's this? You're starting to reconsider my offer of hospitality? Are you so eager to kiss the feet of Cross and Bones?
Yes.
All of the little tendril eyes look at you as if daring you to disagree.
I will not disagree if it will cease this hostility. I will do what you ask.
Well, that is so. But what about the rest of your party? The eyes scan to the rest, or at least to Fukyu and Lu. Sorry, Lu, you just got caught up in all. But...
Yeah, I'll be what. You know what?
You shouldn't be
I'm not
sorry.
associated with these.
Storma should be.
Fukyu particularly, how do you respond to this? Knowing that your party themselves might turn on you and beat the crap out of you
Yeah.
if you get them killed.
We'll haunt you.
Again, self-preservation. Seeing that Zormir is essentially putting his gun down, he's like,
Fine.
sling his guitar back around his back.
And what about you? His eyes turn to Lu.
You're a tiefling. You just look menacing anyway.
I'm actually going to try and intimidate him.
Oh, God, no.
You're going to try to intimidate a person literally not standing here, piloting a mechanical beholder that nearly killed the entire party in one turn.
More the mechanical beholder rather than
I don't think the
You-
mechanical
the
beholder
guy.
can be intimidated.
I think it's a camera. I think it's a camera.
okay.
That's the thing about intimidating machines.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
It's like trying
I
to...
I don't think they're programmed for that.
I'm trying to intimidate this webcam. Essentially is what you're doing.
We're trying not to
You
die
could
here.
definitely do a
I'm
growl
going
and try to...
to try and persuade him that I have done nothing wrong. I was
That's
just
fair enough.
You haven't.
go for
To be fair, you haven't. You were just kind of there. You just got shot.
I didn't even say a word.
Guilty by association, my friend. Yeah, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Oops.
I care not for your excuses. Cross and Bones demands justice.
I'm literally face palming here now.
We're sure we're the ones
Now,
that
It's
reached.
your fault.
Oh, you could have just said something. And it would.
Now you have trespassed upon my land, and you must seek forgiveness. March to my castle and beg by kissing my feet.
Oh, yes,
March.
but can I pick up the gun so I'm not leaving it on the floor?
Yes.
Mm.
Cross and Bones do not care for your puny weapons.
Okay.
We have the power to destroy you.
Okay, I'll start marching that way with a gun slung by my back.
All must go north to the tower of death.
He's turning into what's his name, the rock star demon now. By the way.
Jimmy Balor.
Yeah, he's into Jimmy Balor's demon mode.
It could be Jimmy.
It's alternate world Jimmy Balor. He's alive.
That would be hilarious. Shame I want to make a unique new NPC.
You can make him later. Don't worry.
Yeah, it won't be Jimmy Fella, it'll be Timmy Tower.
It'd be
Wow,
Bimmy
hilariously-
Jalad.
This guy has true sight, but Gwent is hidden under a blanket, not by magic. So strange.
Yeah.
What's his passive? What's your stealth?
24, not 20.
That's actually higher than this thing's passive, okay. So as everyone but Gwent is marched north.
Yeah.
Alvina's asleep.
Alvina.
Alvina's asleep.
Yeah, Fucky's gonna go over kick Alvina and go, come on, we're going with the thing.
She's staying asleep. You're gonna have to carry her.
Uh,
She's not moving.
And the mechanical beholder uses telekinesis to just lift you and start moving you forward.
Yeah, but she's just staying asleep. She's like, no, I'm refusing to be awake. I don't care what happens. Kill me if you must.
That way you'll definitely be sleeping.
Yeah. She's at that
Gwen, what would you like to do while the beholder is taking the party as you're the apparently just stealth from this beholder? For character's sake, I at least advise following. Otherwise, I'm gonna need a new character.
I gave you my ramen bowl. You have to bring it back.
You owe the party now.
When the beholder gets near, Gwen will stand up from her blanket and hopefully just shock the beholder thingy.
The beholder does a double take and then gets you into the group.
Yeah.
Get it?
Where the hell did you come
I'm coming too.
I put the ramen bowl on Alvina.
On her head or something, because she's...
I owe the bowl.
Yeah. It's just a mini thumbs up in the trance. Then she just
But yes, you guys are all marched north at ray point of this metallic beholder floating behind you, marching through this little valley dug into the rubble. As you're passing by these metallic gates, you see what appears to be an eerie, slow-moving mist that is contained on each side through the gate. It appears to almost come up to the gate and then stopped as if blocked by some sort of magical barrier. On the other side, you can see flashes of shadow moving through the mist, but are unable to penetrate its gaze to see what the creatures are beyond. But something lurks. As you continue going north, eventually you start to make out the appearance of a tower that is actually kind of half fallen, dug into the cliffside itself, with what appears to be a small banner over a door with a skull and crossbones on it. The beholder continues ushering you forward into the tower. What would the party like to do, if anything?
snore.
Go and... is it okay to enter then?
Yes, this is the Tower of Death. You
Okay.
must seek forgiveness from Cross and Bones.
Okay.
Just muttering under his breath in Goblin.
Opens the door.
Gwen
As
mutters
you
back in
approach,
Goblin.
the doors open up for you into a large spherical tower, or a large cylindrical tower, 60-foot radius, as you enter into this massive, echoing hall. And on the other side is a door carved in gold inlays against a red mahogany. Or a red oak, actually. Red oak.
So for the doors and for the second doors.
Yes, continue onwards. As
Okay.
The beholder, the doors close behind you, plunging you into darkness. As the only light is the beholder's glowing teal eye above you, floating,
Gwen casts light.
very clearly
Right.
watching
It's
you.
alright, I can see.
I
You do
can't
so.
know.
Eventually, as you approach the red doors, they also swing open into a brightly lit, very well decorated dining hall, a good 120 feet tall and 60 feet long, with this massive central table, banners on either side of more cross and skull and bones in varying colors against multiple colored backgrounds, lantern lights shimmering with torches, or brackets shimmering with torches. And the beholder rises up into a large circular tunnel that leads into the hall, where it continues rising up into the air and takes its place in a massive chandelier socket. And as it does so, these little red glowing arcanite lights light up.
Interesting.
On the as you sweep the room, at the head of the table, sitting in quite a pale Victorian goth frilly outfit, is this almost skeletally skinny skin figure of what appears to be some form of human, but with this scraggly long seaweed dark hair, and sitting on his lap is a very similarly styled marionette doll. As the figure stares at you. Welcome to the Tower of Death! And the doll
Hello.
pipes up, the doll staring at each of you, almost like a ventriloquist doll. Yes, welcome to the Tower of Death.
Interesting name choice.
It will make
And-
sense in a moment.
Are you Mr. Death?
No, I am Bones. This is Cross. Don't make me angry. It stares at each of you deep into your soul.
Alvina is asleep still. Wherever the telekinesis put her down. She hasn't moved.
You have trespassed upon my land, but I am a hospitable guest. Before I have and commence the ceremony of the feet kissing, please,
You're a guest
take your
here as
seat
well.
and dine with me. What is that small green creature?
You said you're a guest here as well.
No, I say you are my guests.
No, you said you're a guest.
I think that
Am I?
you did a bit of a fuck up on the voice. Oh, that, otherwise, this is the best gag ever, where he is actually.
I don't want to agree with the Goblin, but you did say you were a guest as well.
I'm a
It's been
hospitable.
so long since I've come to the Tower of Death. It is entirely possible.
Also, at the mention
Then
of
join me.
the word food, Alvina's eyes snap open as she dives at something and starts eating it.
You know, you are the second guest to grace my backyard.
Are we?
Yes, there was a pale figure earlier this evening with these rather pale, scant, almost snarling creatures.
Weird looking prick, long in sizes, a pair of weird little glasses on his head.
God's sake, please don't say he's here.
Looks like he got blown up recently.
Yes, he too was my guest.
He's a prick, you should kill him again.
Well, we do not murder here in the Tower of Death. No, that would be uncivilized.
He'll pee on the carpet if you don't.
I see. Well, as that may be, would you like some food?
Thank you, it's really tasty. Alvin is already eating.
As sprawled across you is just a variety of strange and exotic meals, creatures, both broiled and seared and fried, and a variety of weird vegetables you've never seen before.
These are really good.
Can I get to the feet kissing and just get a room? I am very, very... he half snores and then wakes up again. Oh, I'm tired.
We kind of got eaten by vampires.
Yes, that is what the strange figure said he was.
Yeah.
A vampire.
It's been
I've
a
never
long...
heard of such figures.
They're undead.
What
They're
is
known.
a vampire?
They're a weird undead thing that is known to be very uncivilized and pee on carpets and furniture and eat people.
And drain your blood.
Fascinating. And what brings you to the Scraplands? You are not with the rebellion?
We fought him and
We landed here.
we somehow
Ended
landed
up here.
We're not from here.
We all are not from here.
Fascinating, fascinating. Your complexion is so much better than the other stragglers around this waste.
I'm not so sure, actually, the amount of vampire bites in at least two of us. We might actually not be that much better.
Yes, yes.
and
You deserve rest.
Okay.
And a full makeover.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Zormir is struggling to keep his eyes open.
Stares at all of you uncomfortably.
Alvina's not noticed, she's too busy eating. She's going through everything like a chainsaw. If anyone's seen the Monster Hunter, like, thing for... In Monster Hunter, where they see that there's the huge platters of food, they're just eating it all in, like, huge bites. That's what Alvina's currently doing.
So what do you require of us right now? Because if you don't tell me what I need to do, I'm going to pass out on the floor, unfortunately, my friend.
No, that is fine. You may each, once you have enjoyed your food, bathe in our upstairs bathrooms, and then have a room to yourself and sleep. It is important that you are well rested for the ceremony of kissing my feet.
Okay, that seems fair. Which rooms are... Which rooms?
Nudges Zormir.
Well, that is no problem. I will have the mini-bots show you in a second.
As my one floats out, like this. My one floats out from behind me.
Have a mini-bot?
Yeah, I've got my little homunculus.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's...
you are an artificer too, yes?
Yes.
Why is everyone...
you know... You
Like
must
I
know
said-
lots of the arts.
Why is everyone we meet an artificer?
Because we like
There's plenty
making
of
things.
metal lying about.
We like making things, and
Miss Centaur, are you an artificer?
No, I mean,
Okay.
I went through an artificer phase like most kids, but no.
Okay. We've met one person who's an artificer. This is fine. I'm not the only non-artificer on the planet. Good to know.
I mean,
Yes, yes.
I'm bald, so...
I know, but I already knew you. But you and Lou don't count.
We should get them to sleep soon. Bones, we should get them to sleep soon. They must need their rest.
what did that thing say?
We must need our rest,
Okay.
Cross is concerned that I shouldn't keep you up with pleasantries and talking too much. You are clearly tired.
Uh-huh.
Yes, they need their rest.
I apologize, our gracious host.
Especially that one.
She stares deeply into Zormir's eyes.
I think she likes you.
That one has many secrets in their brain. Many secrets.
You have secrets?
I make things. Might be on about patterns and designs.
Yeah, maybe. Did you copyright any of them? That catch a secret.
Maybe one or two projects, but none here.
Well, thank you very much for food. There's like a huge gap. There's like no food and like spattered bones and bits and pieces everywhere. Like a 3-foot gap around Alvina.
Oh my god, how much do you eat, woman?
I'm hungry! I also ate a whole bowl of ramen on the outside. But yeah, so where's the rooms? Thank you very much.
Ah, yes, no problem. Let me bring in the mini-bots. As the little chutes above you open up and floating down are these medium-sized metallic beholders. As one for each of you comes down and doorways open in from the walls, just sliding upwards into the rock, into these long, dark corridors. Yes, follow the mini-bots and they will show you to your rooms. There you will find fresh clothing and hot water to bathe.
Awesome. Thank you! And I just jump onto one of the beholders and just like get tight. And you guys go careen down the corridor towards wherever one of the rooms is.
Yes, make sure you rest. You will need your minds quick-witted when you wake.
Whee!
Yes! Please! You are my guests! And tomorrow we will commence the kissing of the feet.
Insight check on the puppet.
Yeah, go for it.
Alvina's already flown away on a beholder.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. This isn't a clearly creepy, dangerous situation.
Alvina's
It's a very
fine.
creepy puppet.
Alvina's fine. Her clothing washes itself, thankfully, so she doesn't need any new clothes.
I think most more importantly is as you incite the puppet, the entity known as Bones does not appear to be talking when the puppet's talking. Either he's a fantastic ventriloquist, or he's not the one talking.
Alvina assumed it's two different entities. Either she's very insightful on that, or she's just too dumb and doesn't understand what a ventriloquist is. One of the two.
Sounds more like the latter.
Most likely.
But yes, you insight that Cross is a very creepy puppet. Is there anything particular you were trying to get out of that? I don't think there's anything subtle going on here.
Well, it was to see if it was totally malicious, if it was truthful, and it's sort of malicious intent it was putting forward there.
Is the puppet lying to me?
100%.
No, the puppet fully believes that you will need your wits for tomorrow, because again, nothing it said was subtle.
Okay. Good night, Cross and Mr. Bones. Thank you both for your hospitality.
And thank you for choosing not to die in the Tower of Death.
Okay.
You're welcome.
You probably hear a crash from whichever way Alvina went. Thank you!
As you are each guided off to your own individual rooms by your own personal medium-sized metallic beholder butler. Yeah, as you open up into these well-lit underground cavernous rooms that have been decorated with rugs and tapestries to make it look more homely and have fresh torches in brackets to illuminate them, you find fresh water drawn into these misshapen, improvised bathtubs of what clearly have been repurposed from other scrap around the scrapyard, as well as what appears to be a miswoven fabric sheet on a padded lump that is a bed-shaped. Everything here screams of improvised. or put together from whatever pieces could be found around the scrapyard.
Alvina's going to immediately just have a bath.
As you are escorted in by your mini beholders, the rock doorways close behind you, sealing you into the small cavern room, and the beholders take up a placement in a bracket just above the door, watching into the full room. The rooms are fully open, with no kind of corners or anywhere that you aren't watched by the beholder eye.
Can you turn away? I'm changing. If it doesn't react, I'm going to put the blanket. I'm going to put the blanket over the beholder and have a bath. I'll take it off as soon as I'm finished.
Yeah.
It slips off as soon as you attempt it.
Take themselves clean. And then, like, make a lump on the bed and go to sleep.
Alvina's going to basically, for attempts of ages, going to basically, like, stab the spears that they found. Or something. Actually, no, the spears, because they might be valuable. Something sharp, and basically just pin the sheet to the ceiling, so there's like a changing curtain, essentially, between me and the beholder.
Fair. You do so. It works.
Yep. And then Alvina's going to have a bath, get changed into her same clothes because they clean themselves. Because it's a magic item. And going to just fall asleep on the bed. Or fall into a trance on the bed.
Alright. So Alvina's falling asleep. I believe Fukyu said they were falling asleep. What is Zormir, Lou, and Gwent doing?
Zormir sees the shabbiness of the bed and goes, god damn this, and pulls out the right tool for the right job and starts making the bed a bit more comfortable by crafting it into something nicer.
How many of you were artificers? Was it just Dr. Zormir?
Dr. Zormir.
I have carpentry skills, smithing skills, thief tool skills, and tinker skills, and I have an all-purpose tool that can be the right tool for the right job.
Magic item.
Every room that they stay in.
Magic item, every single tool in existence is that tool.
Yep.
So you're repairing your bed, and then are you going to sleep?
Yeah. And making it more comfortable than what it was initially.
Alright, Lou and Gwent, what are you guys up to?
Lou curses Zormir for a bit and then goes to sleep. Because Lou blames Zormir for us being here.
That's fair. Gwent?
Gwent is going to cast Death Ward on herself and then go to sleep.
Fair enough. You know what? Fair enough.
That makes sense.
Just in case.
I don't want to die by kissing those feet.
Alrighty, so as the party fall asleep in their sealed cavern rooms, in the hospitality of a very pale, gaunt figure with a creepy puppet in a place known as the Tower of Death, the night passes. Each of you have strange dreams, more vivid than you've ever had back in the original universe.
I don't.
As strange mixes of ideas
You don't
flash
sleep.
in your head.
I don't dream.
That's fair.
Okay.
Apart from Alvina, who I don't know, meditates for 4 hours.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
What are you up to?
I just went, oh shit.
All of you turn and toss the psionic network much stronger in this reality, as your subconscious seems to fold in on your conscious mind ever more, diving deep into your psyche, into the psyches of those around you, into the psyche of the world at large. All except Lou, who seems to be, rather than a turbulent sea of thought, adrift in a calm sea of ethereal lines flowing around you. You can almost see the stream of consciousness as your mind expands beyond your body and becomes aware of the minds of all of your companions and of something deeper, a mind beneath you, larger, more vast. And then something else draws your attention from above. A single eye stares down at you. A familiar thought expanded into a bright light, like you've never imagined, like you've never conceived of. Suddenly, you have a craving for control.
You've found your patron. We went to the right place.
Found Elder Control again.
We went to the right...
Nobody knows.
That's
No,
not because
no.
of the location. This is just because Lou fell asleep.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's their first long rest of
Yeah.
the new reality.
Mhm.
The mind reaches down to you, just a sliver, just to test how strong your own mind is, so as not to break you instantly. A single thought. Who? How do you respond?
Just go, yes? Question mark.
Your response to who is yes.
Who? Yes!
I think
Ah,
it's Lou.
Yeah, you did say it.
No, I heard it as who, to be fair,
That's
as
fair.
well. So,
I think both me and Neil heard it as Lou.
yeah, I can totally get it.
Thought his voice was saying Lou. Okay.
I mean, I
Yes,
hope
and answering the question.
I want the Elder Control to have to forever call him yes.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Hey, I'm sure he wouldn't mind. So you'll do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Elder God.
As a second thought enters into your mind, a thought laced with prejudice, subjugation, distaste, annoyed. And then nothing. It lingers there for a second, staring at you. And then it retreats back into the abyss of thought. As you startle awake, back in your sealed cavern room. That's Ariel. That is your first interaction with your patron, who has at least become aware of your presence in this world.
He doesn't seem to like it very much. He looked at It's like, oh, crap, it's annoyed.
Well, you know, you gotta make do with what you've got when you're imprisoned in the original universe. Here,
Yes, choice.
Control has some choice. Annoyed with their weak minds. That's a subpar choice.
You're gonna get abandoned by your god.
But yes, the rest of you, bar Dr. Zamir, wake up and are eventually shown back to the dining hall, where still sitting in the exact same position, seemingly not to have moved an inch, is Bones with the puppet cross.
That was full long
As you
rest,
each-
right? By the way.
Yep. Oh,
Thank
you also gain benefits of long rest.
Yeah!
But that's fine, because we're gonna end the session before any combat happens.
Yeah, I'm just
Me as
making
well.
sure my max hit points are no longer 25. I'm okay with
Yes, Dr. Zamir gains a long rest, but we'll get back to Dr. Zamir in a minute, as the rest of the party, bar Dr. Zamir, are taken back to the dining hall and see each other, apart from Dr. Zamir, who is nowhere to be seen. Ah, you have awoken! Did you enjoy your rest?
Yes, actually, it was very nice bath, very nice bed. Far better than cacti.
When he's talking, fuck you wants to see if he's actually, like, his mouth is moving.
Alright, give me, I guess, an insight check for this one as well.
Alvina's gonna look for more food. She's gonna scan the
There are
room.
a variety of strange toast-like mushroom substances and cereals.
Yep, she's happy.
Boom! The figure known as Bones definitely seems to be talking themselves, but there's definitely a almost mechanical movement to how they're doing so. But yes, now we may commence with the kissing of the feet. Do you agree?
Well,
Yeah,
that's
really
what
running
you
out of
said
energy.
last night, but
Hey, where's Zomi?
we're
He
missing
definitely
our
should do it.
colleague.
Hey, where's Zomi? He definitely should do it.
Ah, the one you know as Dr. Zormir has already done so. They are an early riser, it would seem. They have already left and are waiting for you, back in the ruins.
Huh.
We've not known. I want to insight him.
I'm about to say that he's never woken up early in his life.
That's what I was going to say. It's like, no, I'll insight.
I'll do an insight as well.
Alright, go for it.
Like, Gwent puts his hand up. Do I need to kiss your feet? I didn't do anything.
Is it an ability? Is that an ability check?
It is an ability check, yes.
Fuck you's usually the last one up, so he doesn't know.
Yeah, Alvina's usually the first one up, so she's the surprise. But I guess he's woke up early for once. Fair enough. Maybe the bed agreed with him for once.
Were you just like knocking on the door trying to get out after 4 hours, being like, I've slept?
Yeah.
Door jam.
Alvina would be just doing shit. She'd be like, actually, can I loot the room?
So I use Pact of
You
the
could just mostly
Talisman.
just like random fabrics and scrap and whatever else. You have a collection of scrap that you've stolen from.
Yeah. Scrap
You do.
stuff.
What's that, Lou?
He's using his talisman to reroll.
Nah,
Okay,
I've
go
just
for it.
read it.
It's
Won't make a difference.
Mm. Oh yeah, it's dad.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
It
it's
just
dad
adds a D4, so it would be an 8.
can't believe we got 2 natural ones, by the way.
Yeah, and
I-
Mir's already left.
Yes, we believe him.
Checks out, yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Mm.
But yes, if you agree to kiss my feet, please turn around and do so on your way out. As materializing up from the floor on a pedestal are 2 severed feet.
Huh. How do they smell?
Medicine check. Are they humanoid or what are they?
Give me a medicine check.
What's that medicine check?
I don't know.
I assume to
It's
see
related to
some
the
kind
body.
of-
They're amputated.
I think a nature.
They definitely look like humanoid feet. They look like they have been severed, and they are being preserved by a warding spell. They
Yeah.
are pale and
General
cold, but they
repose.
do not smell.
Alright,
Gentle repose.
Something like that, yeah.
maybe.
A slightly stronger version.
It's gentle feet.
Gentle feet. But yes, thank you all for coming. Please come and visit me again at the Tower of Death.
We might actually. It was good. It was a good night's sleep, honestly. And they've got great
You
food
are
here.
always safe here from the dangers of the scrapyard.
Compliments to your chef, by the way.
Fuck you is going to start walking up to Cross and Bones.
Alright. You do so. They don't stop you or react in any way.
And then literally get up within an inch of their face.
You do so. They still do not react.
From this close, do they look alive? Or do they look like constructs?
Bones has definitely got like a fleshy texture to him. He definitely looks alive in some sense of the word. Maybe even undead alive, but still fleshy. He doesn't look construct. Cross definitely looks like a wooden mannequin painted.
I'm gonna walk up next to fuck you, see he's doing something. That he's just done that and just poke Bones.
You do so. They still do not react as if you'd done so.
I'm gonna
do they
poke-
move or
I'm gonna poke.
They like gently move. There is definitely some resistance to their just from their sheer weight.
I'm gonna poke Cross now.
You do so. Cross has a little bit less weight and is able to kind of sway, but then sways back into their original position.
Okay.
I kiss the feet and I leave.
I was gonna say I kissed the feet of the porcelain doll.
You do so. Nothing happens.
Okay. There you go.
He's going to say to Alvina,
Try pick him up.
Okay. Pick him up. Or try.
As you try to pick him up, there's resistance from the bottom of him. It appears that he is sitting with Bones' hand underneath him.
no, I meant
bones. I'm picking the entire.
Picking up Bones, damn. You attempt to, but actually, no. This would be something else. You do so. You pick up the chair. They do not react. You are just now holding Bones and Cross.
Yeah. Now what? I look down at Loki.
Lou's gonna awaken his mind and
Right.
telepathically say to Bones to drop Cross. You know, put him down.
I've just realised.
All right. Yes.
What's it called? Lou's a aberrant warlock, isn't they? So they can telepathically communicate with any of us in the party.
Yeah,
Does he have
any
a-
creature you can see within 30 feet.
So that you can see. Fair enough. I was gonna say, can you just talk to Zomi?
Nah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
I haven't
even-
played aberrant warlock before, so.
But who are you reaching out to? You're doing it to Bones.
Bones, yeah. Tell him to put Cross down. He's just a puppet. Or
As you do so, you get a response of, "But my friend, why would I want to do that? Would you like to kiss the feet?"
It counts if I kiss cross feet, right? I say.
This was telepathically.
No, I say. I just say this in general.
He eventually looks down at you to respond. "No, my feet are over there by the door.
But Cross's
Please kiss them on the way out."
But Cross's feet. Her feet are not going to get kissed otherwise. That's just very impolite if you hog them all to yourself.
Cross looks down at you. "Please get out.
Okay.
We have what we want. Leave now."
Alright.
What is it you want?
He stares over at you. "Your company. Now leave before we descend with the beholders."
So, I leave an orange on the
Where's
table.
Zomia?
No, what was that? Too many people talking.
Mine was just, I leave an orange on the table and go to walk out of the building.
Fair, fuck you.
Yeah.
Where is Zomia?
The doll stares at you, deep into your soul. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
If this is another nat one, I swear to God.
Ooh.
Ooh, I think 18 might actually fail.
Ooh.
Damn.
Wow.
Well, it might be a lich or something. That's what I'm getting the vibe of. Like, if anything has a good DC, it's a lich.
Let's have a look here. Yes. As the doll just continues to stare at you, I suggest you kiss the feet and leave with your life. As under the power of suggestion, you are
I'm
charmed.
going to try to counter charm.
Oh yeah, that is the thing you can do.
With the ability?
Mm-hmm.
Which ability? With the bard ability?
It's the bard ability counter charm.
Yeah, but the bard ability requires you to use an action to do so, and then you gain advantage on it in the future.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those things where it's one of the few like kind of non-meta charm effects.
Mm-hmm.
You can have to be aware of the charm happening,
Fair.
or at least like worried about it.
Oh, okay. I guess it makes sense dealing with like certain things you expect to charm. You're like Fae, I guess.
Yeah.
Or even like beholders or something.
Yeah.
I didn't really read it properly. I just thought I could counter charms. Fair enough.
Yeah, I kind of wish it was like a reaction or something better.
Like instead of being charmed, you can like choose to charm them back or something. That would be much
Yeah.
cooler.
But unfortunately for you, this was a subtle cast suggestion. As they are magically charming you to leave without Zormir. Or at least to leave on the assumption that Zormir is outside.
Yeah, but the two of us who just tried to decide if it was a lie or not are too dumb to figure out if it's a lie or not. So...
Lou's gonna try and persuade both of them to deceive rather.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna try and deceive them that I've kissed the feet.
How?
You mean the feet by the door?
Yeah.
How would you like to try and deceive?
I'll go up to them and
Put your hand over your mouth.
yeah.
That's fair. Go ahead and roll me a deception check. What was
25.
Damn.
This character. You perfectly imitate as if you are kissing those feet, but you secretly don't. Would you like to follow out Avina afterwards, or are you staying in that great hall? The door is open into the large cavern outside.
I'll stay at the doorway.
All right. I think that's just
listening
Yeah.
closely.
As fuck you walks out, he's going to pretend to kiss the feet as well.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Alvina's gonna go and he's looking for Zormir outside now. Like, where are you?
Not great.
So yes, who is attempting to stay in the tower as you all move? At least some of you out into the entrance hall, and then some of you have already left through the main door.
Gwen's outside.
Cool. So Gwent's outside. Alvina sounds like they're outside. Fokyu is being magically suggested to leave, so is being forcefully put outside. Lou, as you become the last straggler behind in the entrance hall, listening as the red doors begin to close behind you, you don't hear anything on the other end, and your party seems to be leaving you behind. What would you like to do? What would you like to do, Neil? Would you like to leave outside with the rest of them and catch up with the rest of your party? Jumped into the mirrors outside, apparently.
I shall try and contact Zamir telepathically, because...
but you can't see him within 30 feet.
Yeah, but if he's supposed to be outside, that I'm not
Yeah, but
quite
yeah,
that...
specifies people they can see.
And you, unfortunately, you're in sight, believe I'm outside.
Yeah, we actually believe that they're telling the truth. Annoyingly.
I mean, fuck you doesn't believe he's outside. He was just told to leave.
Yeah, your suggestion will wear off once you're outside.
Yeah,
but you guys can roleplay getting back into the tower once you're all out. So the question is, does Lou just stay in the hall while all his friends are leaving and searching for Zormir, even though he believes Zormir is outside? Oh wait, you guys will have a chance to rescue Zormir.
Thank God. Okay, I was about to go. We just lost two
We're not
party
actually leaving Zormir. Although that would be hilarious if this was just the end of Zormir now as well. It's just every session you lost someone.
We lost two people!
It's all this, it goes from every character just has a new character until there's none of the original cast in there, except for the goblin.
Yeah.
But yes, for brevity's sake, you all head outside or continue searching for Zormir until after a while it dawns upon you, particularly with, I imagine, Fokyu stating as much, Zormir isn't out here, the guy lied to us.
You bastard!
As it appears that Cross and Bones have kidnapped your friend Zormir. With all that, as you guys are back in the ruins, you have a decision to make. You can either return to the tower and attempt to free and find Zormir now that you are confident and have convinced the entire party that he is not outside. Or you can leave him to his death. what would you like to do? As this will dictate what we do next time, as that's the end of the session.
We continue onwards, new friends.
Who
We're
says a
leaving him, aren't
prayer
we?
about his dear departed friend, the good doctor?
Alvina's gonna go, God damn, we might as well save him.
Zombie is still in there.
Yeah, I can't find any trace of him outside. He's terrible at hiding, so...
Dormir is also the one who flies the ship.
Oh, we can figure that out. I'm sure we can figure out flying the ship. But...
How hard can it be?
And
Yeah.
also one of the few people who knows how to repair the
they're
damn thing.
repairing the ships more. Now, apparently we're finding artificers every 25 minutes, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, Alvina's going, we've got to go and save the bastard. Come on. Also,
Alright then.
best part,
Wait,
if we kill him, we can loot the tower.
wait,
That
you
is
have a
true.
ship?
Yeah, we've got an airship.
You have an airship?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope you
Currently
rescue-
not. It's
What's his
currently
face?
not working.
I do like the idea that airships are quite rare and unique in this world, given it's one of the major forms of transportation. And there's pirates just everywhere. Alrighty then. So that is going to be today's session as we meet quite possibly one of the weirdest character pairs I've ever made in any campaign.
It's pretty great. I like him.
So we meet Cross and Bones.
Who kidnapped the...
I have now 4 dragon eggs. I'm happy.
Who have interestingly kidnapped your artificer after previously commenting that the previous vampire artificer was also here. Wait, did he kidnap both of them?
I assumed he kidnapped the vampire, but I'm fine with that.
You can
We'll
hit
find out
them.
next time when we come back to Zormir's perspective as to what happened last night.
Yep.
But anyway, that is today's session. Hopefully you all had fun. We got a bit of exploration done at the end there.
We finally had a long rest.
Finally had a long rest.
Yay!
Only for the party to now have to wage and siege a Tower of Death to rescue their artificer friend.
I'm fine with that. I've been on 25 max health for like a month. I am ready to go.
27 for so long as well.
I'm back up to 88.
The vampires effed us up.
Yeah.
Fuck you hasn't really healed anything or been healed. He's just got his spells back.
Yeah, Alvina's got all her rages back. Her spice pouch is refilled. She's got all her health back. She is good to fucking go.
Even Zormir
Alright.
is ready to go.
Well, tune in next week to find out if the party rescue means Zormir this time, or if, like Steve, Zormir will go the way of death, or kidnapping, or something.
Way of kidnapping. We have another little mini
Or all
cutscene
of the
series of
above.
Zomir.
Maybe we'll have Bob make a backup character, just in case.
Okay.
I feel like all of you should just have backup characters.
I
at
have
this point.
2.
I've got a bunch of backup characters I can use.
There was me being determined not to need a backup character, and now I'm being forced into one.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm.
that's fine. You've all learned a lesson. I'm sure you can get over this small mini boss.
We'll convince him. The tiefling will convince him to let me go. Yes.
No, he won't. If all his rolls for persuasion so far have told us anything, he will cause an intergalactic war by trying to persuade him to let you go.
That's fair. But yes, let's wrap this up because we're getting towards the half-9 mark. Thank you all for watching the World of Alterra, the Shattered Altsphere. Tune in next week to find out if we rescue Zormir and discover what the hell Cross and Bones actually are. Are they a lich ventriloquist couple, or are they some sort of construct being controlled by some all-tombed or aberrational entity? Who knows?
Isn't it the week after because you have something on
2
next
weeks.
weekend?
Oh, yes. We're actually taking a break next. Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone, for.
I remembered that. Yeah.
We'll be taking a
Saying
break next week. We'll be
for
back in 2
continuity's
weeks.
sake.
No, this is my
So
schedule we're
finish with
talking
a guy
about.
with a creepy puppet.
Everyone say bye!
See ya, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
You done, Bob?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll be back on Monday with, I don't know, something. But yeah, see you guys around. This was a great session. Thank you very much again. And I will see you guys next week. Have a fantastic evening and a fantastic weekend, every single one of you. See ya!
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Wait.